It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
The back and forth has got me so messed up. Don't ignore the signs. We've had enough of the whole damn thing that we got going. You hold the strings without me knowing. Why do I have to suffer through the thinking? Why do I have the feeling that we're sinking? I need to find a way. What's all this for? It's got me turned around, but I can't ignore the feelings that I found in this whole damn thing that we got going. You hold the strings without me knowing. Why do I have to suffer through the thinking? Why do I have the feeling that we're sinking? I need to find a way. Find a way. Find a way. Find a way out. Find a way out.
to the sea for a getaway. Car top down and we're driving just to feel young. Moving away to the sea, moving away, can't you see? Sand in your feet, feel the breeze in the summertime. Stars in the sky, one dime for the first time. Moving away to the sea, moving away, can't you see? We'll drink honey by the ocean, it's our favorite potion. Come on baby, let me tell you one time that our days will never end, yeah. No, our days will never end, yeah. No. Come on baby, let me tell you one time that our fire got a love it till you never break apart. And we moving away to the sea, moving away, can't you see? There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. Get off your seat, clap your hands to the beat. Grab your champagne glass tonight. We toast to freedom in the Caribbean, yeah, in the Caribbean, yeah. Dance, 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 smoke, smoke, smoke. Fire it up, let our lanterns paint the night sky red. Paint the night sky red, yeah, yeah. We'll drink honey by the ocean, it's our favorite potion. Come on baby, let me tell you one time that our days will never end, yeah. No, our days will never end, yeah. No. Come on baby, let me tell you one time that our fire got a love it till you never break apart. And we moving away to the sea, moving away, can't you see? There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight.
But it's too late now. I remember you and me, and how careless we could be.
All day and all night, we'd stay up, it felt so right. We were so young, we were so dumb. We would get drunk and then hook up. We were okay, we were alright, staying awake till the sunrise. We were in love, couldn't stop us, like a good drug, never run. We hook up in my car, driving so far, play your guitar, you'd show me your art. Let down our guards, think with our hearts, stare at the stars. We were never apart, drinking too young, way too much fun, out in the sun, open when it's gone. Took you to prom, dance to our song, dance all night long till the lights come on. Late now, I remember everything, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be. 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 Late nights, long fights, it felt right, we were alive. We would go out, we were so loud, we were so proud, we had no doubts. Weekends and weekdays, we'd spend our own way. We were careless, we were fearless, we were reckless, time was precious. We loved to waste time, whiskey and wine, drinking all night, asleep by your side. Finally alive, we would just drive, never arrive. Our journey was life, staying out late, testing our fate, running away. We live for today, young and so bold, never get old. Screw what we're told, we can't be controlled. Now I remember everything, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be. How careless we could be.
It's too late now, I remember you and me. And how careless we could be.
Yeah, everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off best friends. I don't really understand myself, I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone. It's so cold outside, it's so cold. Break down, always feel like I could break now, but I never let it take me to that place now. I won't ever let my thoughts get away now. I got better things to do, picking fate now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way to even when I'm feeling down, I fight. Even when I don't know what is right, I'ma pick a side and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate and I will never let them tell me who I am. If you try to shake me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold. Yeah, I don't believe in destiny, I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me, you ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes, call me aggressive with my flow. Call me offensive even though Joe, I ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love, still gonna die for what I love. Still gonna try, I won't give up. Still gonna fight until I've won. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left, and I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret. Cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win, I won't stop till the end, no. Some injuries, mentally and physically. Studied them religiously so I don't repeat history. And people won't admit to me they don't want a victory. Bad enough to get a C, they'd rather just go leave it be. And oh, this journey I've been on since 13, working hard and learning, never stopping searching. Yeah, it's burning, all this passion hurts me. I took action working, writing down these words. No, I'm not okay, I just wanna be something. I don't wanna be nothing, living all alone. No, I'm not alright, I'm just barely getting by. But I'll tell you I'm just fine, so you leave me alone. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left, and I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret. Cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win, I won't stop till the end, no. I don't get what I want, I get what I need. Every single day I'm heading off to my dream, and I get everything that I damn well please. I don't give a damn if you all listening to me, cause I run it. I'm the only one that really want it, I'm the only one that's really on it. I'm just being honest, I'm just doing everything I promise, cause I want it bad enough that I'ma make it as an artist. And I know I'm not the smartest, and I know I'm not the largest, but I promise you that I'ma be the one that worked the hardest, cause I promise you that I'm just getting started. And I promise you that my skills are getting sharper, so I'ma get charted. Can't be guarded, nah, I'm the one to get retarded. Get the party started, yeah, get the party started, yeah, so let me get up on it, yeah. Bitch, you got me fucked up, I don't know what's up. Pour that shit in my cup, we bout to turn up. Crank this shit up so loud, sounds like we're sold out. In front of a whole crowd, we lose control now. Y'all take this shit too personally, everybody got a different version of me. Everybody gotta be learning from me, everybody wanna be working with me. And I feel like there's uncertainty and urgency to find out what you wanna be. But honestly, we change our minds constantly, so stop and breathe and find out who you wanna be. Failure ain't an option, so I'd be cautious. I hope that you're watching, don't try to stop this. Work until I'm nauseous, cause I will not quit. No, because I want this, don't try to stop me. Failure ain't an option, so I'd be cautious. I hope that you're watching, don't try to stop this. Work until I'm nauseous, cause I will not quit. No, because I want this, don't try to stop me.
They both play it, and they both play it extremely well. What about the puck? You gotta get out that one too. T1 getting rid of Joker. Now to try and get he played into the other day. He went all over the place. Like the same item goal, double low, and pulls through the vessel. Going on the basket. Stuff done. Into head the minus.
You, not for me. I don't give a fuck if you got a cause to agree. Did you learn anything? Really worth anything? 200 grand later and we're not even working. Student loans worth more than what we're earning. Best lesson I learned is to keep on searching. Find your true passion and get to work. And better take action or you end up serving. Yeah, that's a fact. So you better clean up, no backed. So you better race off the sack and tell the world they can suck on that. Don't come back, pack your bags. You take a trip and don't relax. You hit the
T1, they banned DK or Nyx, Viper, Enchantress.
Lion.
For the Lion. Okay, that's respectable.
Wyvern's still in the pool. Viper's still in the pool.
Okay. Nice. All right. Just
Aoi claimed that his favorite offlane Viper performance from the entire animation was from Cuckoo.
And that was because of the Treads Skadi style build, right?
He says that this whole Rod style build is trying to turn Viper into a hero that it's not his forte. But killing people, Dragonlance, Treads, that's what Viper excels at.
Yeah, it makes you tanky, makes you have another way of slowing people down, keep them in place. I think it might be a bit outdated. So Virtus Pro opening up with their favorite hero, pretty much, going with the Enchantress. I believe we had an interview, was it Cuckoo, who said that... or no, it was Zephyr who said, you know, they were playing against the Enchantress the other day. They felt comfortable going into the late game because of the Enchantress. Like, she doesn't really scale well as a position 5 or 4. You know, just you are able to deal damage, but mostly it's early and and the mid-game damage.
Unconventional. A double support opening from second pick. Normally it's like the idea of like a big core plus, you know, support, trying to keep things a bit more open. This is just very much, we're going to have heals. And this is where, like, T1, realistically, if you do play AA, you just pick it, right?
It's banned.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind.
Anyway, moving on. That's why it's banned. We literally already said that.
You know, I would not be surprised if they pick something like Spectre straight away, because I don't think it will survive the second banning stage, considering you have Enchantress plus Wyvern. Like, these heroes don't do anything to Spectre at all, and you want to be able to jump the back lines, especially the Wyvern.
23 is acting awful quiet here.
You know, wait, there's still Timbersaw in the pool. I don't mind seeing Timbersaw here as well, against the Enchantress, against the Wyvern. Get on top of him.
You kind of take the flex potential from the Timbersaw, though, don't you?
The Viper doesn't really have...
That is correct.
So maybe leaving that open. Is it going to be a Carl hero? I think generally Viper feels more Cuckoo-ish.
And they go for the Nyx. Yeah, that's fair. I like the idea of the Nyx here is the Viper first pick kind of forces VP's hand a little bit in regards to what they can open with. They don't really want to go instantly for the tanky boys, and then you get the Nyx after that. It opens up for a strong laning, where if Viper is off lane, Nyx is one of the best enablers for that, because we haven't seen many melee heroes in 4 position, but that's because of like the off lanes also being the melee boys. But now if you go for the ranged off lane, you want to have that Nyx assassin, you want to have that clockwork style hero to have that kill threat within laning phase.
You might start thinking about getting a ranged carry hero for Virtus Pro, something like a Luna potentially. Terrorblade already banned out. Playing into Viper, most likely. Still a flex pick. Viper plus Nyx Assassin, ton of pressure, 1 stun, 2-3 slows coming out from Viper. So yeah, they ban out Morphling. We didn't see too much of a Morphling, right, in this tournament?
Yeah, I'm surprised because we have a lot of players who have signature Morphlings.
23 Savage.
Exactly.
Right? But that's the best thing I think about T1 is some teams with him joining, they'd have gravitated towards that very quickly, but like they haven't leaned on this hero to be like the reason why they are so dominant.
I credit that to March. I think March is like, you need to expand your hero pool, dog.
Yeah. Ban out Naga Siren. Okay.
Another illusion carry. So maybe looking for a carry that excels in single target. Ursa, been relatively popular these days. Wraith King.
It's also safe lane heroes that can play the laning phase pretty well and then retreat to jungle very efficiently. And it's the concept of carries that can push lanes without any, like committal, right? They're the ones not pushing the lane with the hero, but they're still getting the economic gain. I think that's where Viper, he thrives on always punishing the hero, whoever walks to the lane. And that's where these illusion heroes will be somewhat good in the matchup.
They're dipping in. Reserve time for Virtus Pro. I think they got a bit confused by this Naga Siren ban. It might be like, what are they aiming for? Both of these are illusion carry heroes.
Sorry, we have a very excitable dog.
Yeah, we're getting yanked by Woof.
Some wowies.
If the stream can't hear this, we're just delusional at this point.
Arf!
Oh, there it was. There it is.
Where's Lycan at, huh? Where's the only dog hero in all of Dota?
Thank God Necrobot got removed. Therefore,
right.
Dog also got removed. But then Dog came back with Armlet plus
Echo
the Echo Saber, the slap down.
Where's tops and mid Lycan?
Oh, that's a good point. Echo Saber.
Give me that Echo Saber build.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Orchid BKB on Lycan.
Did Virtus Pro disconnect or what's going on? 30 seconds reserve time left.
Come on, boys.
Last ban.
Ban time.
They are mainly showing webcams of T1.
Not even the last ban. 20 seconds.
Oh, there it
chilling.
is. Medusa. Okay. I think the key theme of VP's bans right now, it's the big cause that 23 Savage likes to play behind this big wall of aggression. Like when you pick Nyx Viper in your first phase, you are going to have a dominant laning phase, and you're going to look to pair up with +1 and just start sweeping across the map. Like Ench, Wyvern, they aren't going to be ones that dominate their lane. Ench, can with the correct partnership, but yeah, and Centaur. Yeah, VP 100% are playing for reactionary Dota right now.
They just pick Centaur into Nyx Assassin. You hit him from Vendetta with the Carapace on. Retaliate, damage kicks in. There's your first stun, and then you can follow it up with the Impale. So not the greatest matchup.
And Carl Puck still available in the pool.
They literally have no stuns. This is like Centaur stun. You can easily dodge it.
This is 100%. It should just be like Phoenix into Puck, right? They go, oh. I like Puck even more now for the PL. You knock him down with the coil.
I mean, T1 specifically banned out 2 illusion carries that they were not worried about, and then they banned out Broodmother afterwards. So it seems they have a plan for PL. Viper should be able to deal with the PL relatively well.
I think you shift this Viper to offlane right now and just start thinking about the mid laner that does well. You mentioned Puck. I don't mind Puck. I don't mind even like a Storm Spirit.
Sand King?
No, not a thing. You already have one Impale, aka Burrow Strike, coming out from the Nyx Assassin. It's not needed.
Yeah, realistically, like T1
even Ember Spirit sounds fine. Your shield gets purged off by Enchantress.
Wait, isn't Leshrac? Leshrac's also very, very strong, but then it reduces the catch and team fight, but more just the run at you mentality of win a lane and run throughout the map.
They have no tower damage whatsoever at the moment, so they might need to start thinking about it. Like even if you want to get something like a Dragonite, it's not bad. He doesn't get any damage from the PL. It also has a built-in cleave, level 12, level 18. not enough burst damage for Dragon Knight either.
Oh, the splash. I was just like, wait, are there level 12 talents on Dragon Knight that I'm not aware of?
Yeah, just the splash damage.
I got you.
Lesh or Puck. This is kind of what I'm gravitating towards.
Yeah, the magic damage is going to be good against Enchantress as well. So, and Cold Embrace.
T1's opening just looks so scary. Just because of the simplicity of laning phase right now.
And you have a ton of damage that goes through Cold Embrace. You have Viper, you have Phoenix Sunray, Fiery Spirits. I'd say more than enough.
And they do go for the Lesh, right? Okay. The key thing here for VP and why they picked the PL with confidence was the fact that T1 only has one stun, right? They now have a second with Leshrac, but these are really easy stuns for PL to doppel away from. And if he can cut out the fight, that's where he'll have his kind of big shining moment. But because T1, they go for the Leshrac, opting away from the control of Puck, it's the fact that the Leshrac will just run into the PL. It doesn't matter if you don't have stuns, because if you put him to half HP just with an ultimate, like, he's going to have a difficult time. So yeah, T1 really want to play these strong lanes and just sweep throughout the map. VP, this PL needs to have like heart, +1. Maybe this could be the Mage Slayer game for the PL.
Ooh, could be.
It could be.
It's always scary, that Mage Slayer kicking in a very important game.
Sarcasm bleeds throughout the voice, but actually this game, it could actually be good because of Magic Resist, you're here that locks onto the targets, lock onto Viper or Leshrac. You can keep your illusions alive, but, maybe we see it, maybe we don't.
23 Savage doesn't really have a history of playing the Leshrac, so chances are that they're looking for a carry hero last for T1. A lot of them banned out. He did play a fair amount of Monkey King, which may be pretty good in the lane against the Centaur, and then a lot of armor in Wukong's command against Phantom Lancer. And
I would like to see Juggernaut, because during the European DPC, we spoke a lot about the idea of matchups, and I think a Juggernaut that can go for like Mjolnir, the Shard, you just spin down the PL, you then have this double threat of just kind of AoE damage to kill him.
I don't mind the Battle Fury Ursa here as well, or Lifestealer, something that 23 Savage really plays well. You can theory craft, you can go for different item build with both of these heroes, which I think is completely fine. And Monkey.
Nice. Okay.
You think this is a Battle Fury type of a game against PL?
I'd like to see this just be area control. You just fight. You just be able to tank up yourself, and you just S and Y, get into the middle, enable your Leshrac to get some damage in, and because you have so much early damage to kill PL. Later on, you might need to itemize for it, but in the first 2 to 3 items, you're playing as a team, and I think you need to hit some 20-minute timing and just run over the map from VP.
Of the other carries you mentioned also, you were saying that T1 was lacking stuns. Monkey King's probably one of the few heroes that still has stun, but they do not ban out the Razor, and VP will last pick that for GPK. Yeah,
this Razor, in regards to the game, you're going to have an okay time in the mid lane. You can just spam it out with your Plasma. And in the game, there isn't any additional source of physical damage outside of Monkey King. So we could see, I think...
it's Cuckoo Leshrac and Carl Viper, so mid lane Viper against the Razor.
Okay, that's fair. I don't mind that. That's a nice adjustment. But yeah, the main thing here for the Razor is his game plan. I can't remember what team it was, but he goes for a Blink Dagger. I think it was actually maybe T1. And it's the idea that he has one single target to static link. He buys the Blink after BKB +1, and he just locks on, removes Monkey from the fight. And I think that's exactly what this Razor pick is meant to do.
I like the flexibility that they had between Leshrac and this Viper, that Carl in the end will be playing it from the mid lane. Much better matchup for Leshrac than the Viper Doppelganger. You remove the stacks, you dispel against the Viper. So I love this transition that T1 did in the end, and I think they got what it's needed. They have a lot of team fight with you have Egg Protectors with Monkey King, either it's a Wukong command or just a stun pre-BKB. I love it.
Is there your
T1,
favorite?
yeah.
Okay, T1, T.
I did predict T1 to win the tournament. I think this is the type of lineup that can overwhelm a PL, and PL is locked into having multiple items to try and play this game. So yeah, I have confidence in T1.
T1 Governor.
Easy. I think it's a relatively even draft, though, and that's what we want, upper bracket finals. And I know who you want to cast it. It's Sunsfan and Jenkins.
Wow, that's the opposite.
I don't think anybody wants that.
Yep, Sunsfan here with Jenkins, my good friend, as you can see, has been working out with the bicep reduction surgery.
Why are you so wet?
Well, what do you mean nothing's wet
You
here?
are slimy.
That's not true.
It is.
Jenkins has this thing where he just makes things up out of thin air. They make no sense. But luckily for you guys, you don't have to watch that much longer because we get into the game. A 10-man smoke. VP versus T1 in this best of 1, or first game of the best of 3, I should say. And this is going to be a hype matchup. Obviously, T1 playing extremely well at the major. VP had high hopes, but did not do well, but they are doing extremely well in this tournament, Mr. Jenkins.
Yeah, I think both of these teams looks better than when they played at the major, and for T1 that's kind of insane because you know, they obviously did incredibly well at the major. VP not so much. They're one of the playoff teams that got knocked out, but I think people had really high expectations, and they seem to be performing at like I don't know, some 150% of what they were at the major, which is great to see.
Do you agree with the assessment that from VP's perspective, it was more of like these LAN jitters? I mean, they do have some young players on their team. I think the oldest was 21, I want to say.
Something like that. Yeah,
pretty freaking young.
That's like dinosaur age, grandpa level stuff right there.
Yeah, pretty much. As we're going to see, boundary runes taken. Looks like it's going to be an even split. But yeah, what do you think that's overrated? The idea of that?
I think that's a legit. I don't want to say excuse because I feel like there's been a lot of excuses made for players these days. People are, you know, their favorite teams, and they, you know, often when they lose, it's like, you know, jitters. But they said it themselves, VP. And having played at a single LAN, the other one, you were there. I can say that it's a very different environment in my expertise.
Yeah, that WCA performance by the great Leviathan, where you, I believe, got into the next stage because there was a team missing from action.
The flight got canceled.
Oh, that's what it
so
was.
Newbie could not show up, and we made it out of the group stages, which was very good for us.
Just the highlight of your career.
Yeah.
As we see GPK versus Carl in the mid lane. Okay, Razor versus Viper. Viper this year that we've seen. I mean, both heroes really kind of serve in a similar role in terms of the draft where you pick it up and you don't exactly know what position they are. As we're going to see Whitemon end up dropping here. So DM getting the first blood overall. But we can talk about this mid matchup, Razor versus Viper. Tell me about it.
I think Viper is pretty comfortable in almost any matchup because you just push the lane with his W. You're going to be fine no matter what. But Razor, if Viper does step too far up, does so much physical damage that it's one of the few heroes that can kill the Viper through his passive if you're not careful.
See the static link come out here for GPK, but didn't last too long. And, okay. In terms of the carries, Monkey King, not a hero we get to see all too often these days. After a couple of nerfs, I guess you could say, in the past couple patches, versus PL, who, I mean, the biggest nerf to him was essentially the shard tweak in the last, I think it was 2 patches ago at this point.
I think that's pretty relevant in this game, though, that shard nerf, because if you look at T1's lineup, Monkey King does really well against PL because you drop the Wukong's command, and you have a Maelstrom, you just clear through the illusions really easily. You have Phoenix, who does a ton of magical damage with the Sunray, and then Leshrac, who is arguably one of the best illusion counters in the entire game with his Pulse Nova. So it's a really hard PL game. He's going to have to play with the Shard, using those illusions from afar, because if he walks into the fight, he's going to feed to these heroes. And with that thing being nerfed, it's, you know, it's not so good to have to play that play style in a game. You would much rather play the kind of classic PL, tanking up, going for the Shard out of, you know, convenience because it's decent, but not playing entirely around it.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I think from 23 Savage, his perspective, the Monkey King, I mean, one of the nerfs that was made to him quite a while ago was the Aghanim Scepter. The Roche doesn't work on him anymore, which was a big, I would say that was a pretty big reason for picking the hero. Literally can solo at some point in the game.
I mean, it made him Ursa. Like, half the reason Ursa is a strong hero is because of the Roche potential. Same with Troll Warlord. And Monkey King can do that solo as well. And you can jump into the pit, right? So that made it even better because you couldn't see a Monkey King on the trees jumping into the pit. He's out of vision.
All right, what are your thoughts in terms of the lineups between the two teams here? T1, we talked about the good team fight for them, but I feel like the disengage with Stampede, I mean, T1 doesn't have a ton of catch. Like, you have the egg, you have the arena, but nothing really to truly lock them down inside.
That's a good call. I think the Centaur is a factor in this game that VP is really comfortable with, because and I you know, it's good for them because I think the rest of T1's draft kind of counters some of these other VP heroes. So, you know, the Winter Wyvern Cold Embrace is not so good in this game because Viper, Leshrac, like literally every single one of these T1 heroes will put something on that Cold Embrace that's not going to be good for the Wyvern. And then you have all the illusion killers versus the PL as the hero that wants to carry the game. So the disengage and playing from far with the ether lens on PL is going to be really important in this game for VP.
So you are expecting that ether lens?
I think you have to.
Shard build.
I think you have to.
The
unless
BSJ
he's,
special, in other
yes,
words.
of course. he likes losing pubs with very bad builds.
Okay, well, you're
now
calling
it's
it
good. Now it's good.
Oh, now it's good.
Yeah.
I see. Even after the nerf. To
Yeah,
the
and
shard.
he doesn't build it now that it's good. Because
Well, he's just a hipster. That's all
Exactly.
there is to it. Okay.
yeah.
I understand that to some respect. Okay, well, early on, we see the PL 25-6 versus the Monkey King 23-10. So overall, I mean, obviously the Deny going more in 23 Savage's favor, but pretty much a wash in that department. Anything to look out for in terms of farm from the offlaner's perspective? Like how well they're doing right now?
Oh. They're both doing okay. I mean, I don't think there's any like crazy timing from either of these heroes that's important. There's some setup from the Wyvern, so you don't really need the blink on Centaur. Vanguard's not all that good. Like the offlaners are... It's a tough game for both of the offlaners, I think. Leshrac can die really easily to this, to Razor. It's one of the highest win rate heroes versus Leshrac because you want to man up and get in there as Lesh, and Razor absolutely favors that, so... It's pretty typical you see offlaners in games where it's not so good. They get early phased.
Yeah, and this from DM side, I know I say this every game. It's not true. I don't say it every game, but I do mention it a lot. This is an Aghanim Scepter game on Centaur.
Oh my God, you do
I know
mention
that you're
that
smiling. I see you
every single-
smiling. Are you saying that's incorrect? This is a god tier Stampede upgrade.
Why?
Especially for this game. The
Aren't you
disengage.
just running away anyway?
Yeah, but it's an extra second on Stampede in case the Nyx has his Aghanim Scepter. You're locking people down a little bit there.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And the damage reduction. I mean, Wukong's command maybe doesn't scare you as much if you're taking 40% less damage.
Eventually. See, my argument here. My argument for the...
Incorrect.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No. My argument for the Centaur not getting the Aghanim Scepter is that I think that it's a really tough PL game to have all of the weight on his shoulders to carry the game. And so Razor and Centaur are going to need to be doing a little bit more of the carrying. And so I think some sort of, heart...
Really?
Yeah, some build like typical Centaur build, but playing more around being tanky, frontlining, and maybe doing a little bit of damage.
I like that as GP Gay. Oh, he's actually going to dodge the Impale. Nicely done, and that's going to prevent a kill. But Carl has that haste rune getting blocked by the creep. Not going to be able to find the kill that he was looking for. As you can see, the ward spotting out for GPK, so a nice stutter step there in the fog.
That is honestly classic Carl to just run in and like, the stun is missed, and he still wants to go for it, too. Like, this guy...
It's worked out pretty well for him overall. As you can see, the gank potential now from Save. Only level 3 right now. Takes the Viper Strike. That is a spell to fear if you're an Enchantress, that's for sure. Double Impale from Zephyr. They're going to try to turn this around to get 2 kills. They will do so successfully, but Carl does fall in the end. But again, the XP going the way of T1 for the most part.
Yeah, really great turn from T1 there. Just basically recognizing that like where VP were in the river, it's going to favor the Viper. Like you get locked in there against the Viper Slug, you're never going to get out unless you die. And so VP thought that because they had 2 supports there, it's like, oh, this Viper, he's the one trapped in the river. But really, they were trapped in the river with him because T1 also had their supports there.
Yeah, and I have to say, obviously, when we come from different regions where we're, we did NA, a lot of the other talent at the major did other regions, and we get to see this, cross-regional play overall. We don't get to see a lot of these players play on a consistent basis. Zephyr on Nyx specifically at the major and this tournament so far has been, I think, a standout performance. He has been absolute god tier.
And he makes it look like it's impossible to not hit double stuns.
Yeah.
Legitimately. I remember watching him and thinking like, man, is Nyx just way better on LAN? Like, what the hell is it?
I mean, it's not truly LAN, right? It's still technically on the
No,
internet.
I just meant at the major.
We're going to see the Wukong's command. Oh, tried to dodge that there with the mischief, but in the end, we'll be disengaging here from VP's side. 23 Savage extremely low. They can't finish him off. Save will die, though, to Zephyr as we were just praising him here. Looking for another stun potential onto Kingslayer on the run. Cuckoo gets the Lightning Storm off. Split Earth will not connect, though. Still no Impale for another second, so looks like he'll get out just fine. Looking for the high ground potential here, but Zephyr feels a tingling there. He is a spider after all. Well, it's close enough. It's a bug.
He's not a spider.
Spiders aren't bugs either.
He's a cockroach. Do you know cockroaches are just as smart as dogs? I don't know if that says it's something about the cockroach intelligence or how dumb dogs are.
I did not know that. I'm just going to choose not to believe it because that creature really scares me.
Dogs?
Yep, that's the one. Nightfall in the jungle now. We can see he's working on the Diffusal Blade. Not too big of a surprise overall. VP's side. They will smoke out. And See where they want to go with this. They're in the bottom area of the map, but not sure they're going to find. I mean, 23 Savage is down here, but he is on the tree. And, yeah, using the tree dance to get
they
away to
scanned
safety.
it. Yeah, they knew that this was going to be a triangle smoke. That's
Okay.
really good game sense from them. That was a 6 scan.
Yeah, and that's going to prevent any kills coming the way from VP's side. So, well played from T1 overall. As we see a little jungle stack being taken out by DM and GPK on the other side doing the same. GPK looking for the BKB as the... Is that actually the first item? Yeah. What are your thoughts on GPK first item BKB?
Straight BKB?
Yeah.
I think there are certain games where one hero needs to build it, and Razor in particular is the type of hero that you never lack damage.
Oh boy. Yeah, they're going to find a kill here. Viper Strike is there. Stampede, okay. Does get him out of harm's way for now, but with the Sunray, T1 with 4 members up here secure themselves another kill.
It's crazy. Even with a hood, he dies. And Cuckoo just rotating with that Max Edict. This is the annoying thing about offlane the Shrek is that you can do little plays like that sitting in the trees, and you're not wasting your time because, let's be real, if you're an offlaner, your time's pretty worthless anyway compared to
Yep, this is true. 23 Savage going to get the Wukong's command, but it's going to be a full static link applied to him with the Arctic Burn on the side. But with reinforcements from T1, I think VP is going to disengage as well. But they do get a big cooldown there for the Monkey King.
That's cool that he just kind of used it for the armor on the ring, and GPK not having the ulti available means that there's no way to shred through that armor. So even though he got a really good static link off, it's only level 2, and the armor meant that it did kind of deceptively low damage.
Yeah, but let's go back to this GPK first item BKB because, I mean, I'm not saying BKB is bad necessarily, but first item is not something we see all too often, I want to say.
I'm just going to say Razor, to me, is like the single most hero where if you don't have a BKB at the right time, the rest of your game is just worthless. You fall off so goddamn hard.
Oh, boy. Yep, Zephyr gets off that Vendetta, and with Whitemon's help, able to take out Save.
Dude, these supports are just everywhere for T1.
They've been playing so well.
Every single kill they're involved with. Literally. Look, 1-0-4. That's nuts.
Yeah, Zephyr doing work, that's for sure. Carl has the Boots of Travel as the offlane Viper, so a bit of a greedy build. And going for the Dragon Lance as well.
Offlane.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he was the mid.
I still think
so often Viper is the offlane. That's true.
I still think the offlane Viper bots is really good. Just depends on the game. And Carl, Kugu's building into some pretty supporty items with the Yule Scepter. Didn't go for the hood this game, though. Doesn't feel like he needs it, because there's not really that much magical damage on VP, so
yeah,
it does make sense.
And Diffusal now online. I mean, what are the timings for these lineups, you think? Does one team want to play a little bit more aggressively than the other?
I think you definitely, if you're VP, you really want to do something around this Diffusal timing, because you don't want to go late game against all of these illusion killers.
Yeah, we might have a fight here, though. GPK taking a little harassment. Cuckoo, in the meantime, putting himself in harm's way with that Tier 1 tower in tow. Zephyr gets brought down by GPK. Finally, the reign of Nyx Assassin comes to an end. It's going to cost them Cuckoo as well, as we see the Winter's Curse onto Whitemon. Doesn't have dive, does have egg, but obviously they would have killed it anyway. So nice 3-kill setup here for VP.
Yeah, we're seeing just how strong this Centaur ulti is right now. Like, for every reason that you mentioned, like T1 commits like this, and you can either use it to get in there and kill Cuckoo, who's like literally tanking the tower with absolutely no effective HP, or you can use it to get out. Like, you can pick and choose your fights really easily right now for VP, and that one just looked really good to get in.
Yeah, and DM is about to pick up a Blink Dagger, so Centaur initiation will be online as well. Zephyr trying to find Kingslayer here, has the Vendetta, gets it off with the Impale, and with Carl's help. Now, it's going to be slowed down a bit by this Cold Embrace, but they'll give this to Carl in all likelihood.
They've really
the Tier 1 tower.
That hero, the Wyvern, for T1. Like, all of these heroes, if you're Cold Embracing in front of a Viper, it's like he's just so happy that you did that.
Yeah,
you just get
for
5
sure.
stacks instantly.
Yeah. 23 Savage gets off his Wukong's command. That's going to help set up another kill for VP. Or for Tier 1, or T1. Tier 1. Well, they are Tier 1.
And they defended the Tier 1, but then they denied the Tier 1.
That's true. Which is, in essence, defending the Tier 1.
Yeah, exactly.
In the end.
Exactly. Because you're going to lose it on the next push anyway. And I think oftentimes you can get baited into continuously defending your T1. Oh my god, Kuku's so annoying.
I think you're right, though. I mean, we've seen position 4 Lesh as well, but obviously in the 3 position, you're going to get the Diabolic Edict a little bit faster in terms of leveling it up, but he has done a lot of work to these towers this game.
Yeah, you can just do this because your time is worthless as an offlaner. It's so much fun. You can run around and suicide and side lanes and people chasing you, and it's not really worth it for them to chase you because you're such a low farm priority. Like, Carl's getting so huge on Viper.
And he's actually going to finish the Hurricane Pike first. A lot of times we see the Dragon Lance into other things.
Yeah, against the
finishing
Razor.
it.
Static Link, as well as getting away from the PL, who's maybe going to defusal him, Enchantress Enchant. You can force people out of the Centaur stun, too. Usually that ability is on, like, 1 or 2 heroes. You never really see these, like, big 5-man stomps that often.
Well, DM looking for... I'm not sure if he's actually shown the Blink Dagger for the Centaur, but see if they can find some sort of initiation play here. I mean, they have a lot of relatively low cooldowns, I want to say, for VP, so it's not like one of these lineups that you have to just reset after a big fight for a long period of time, at least. There's the Blink initiation. They find it. The Sentry a little bit late, but Zephyr is getting pressured here, and yeah, nobody really nearby, but they don't have Dust, and no more Sentries to speak of. So Blink is now shown officially.
This is something that I've seen a lot during the entire major, and during this tournament as well. You have these like kind of tanky or hard to kill heroes literally just like sitting at the perimeter of where the enemy team is standing, like close enough that if they go on you, you can survive, and far enough away.
Oh, 23 Savage, the Arctic Burn with the Hoof Stomp Stampede to follow, and the Curse, but the heals coming out from Whitemon. That's going to scare VP away.
That's a pretty cool bait, or a pretty cool play there, though, from VP. I don't think they ever intended to kill him. There was no damage dealer there. They were legitimate. I mean, maybe using the Winter's Curse is a little committal, but still, it's cool to see that like they know they don't have any damage dealer.
Yeah, that's true.
But then again, they just did use 2 ultimates, so that's probably not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, the Stampede, relatively low cool. It used to be a lot lower. It's gone up 20 seconds over the last, I know this by heart, by the way, 20 seconds in the last year. Feels pretty bad, but you do get that talent, the minus 20 seconds at level 20.
This is the literal most boring offlaner, and it does not surprise me you know everything about it.
That's right, Zephyr. Well, he knows that there's a Sentry here now, but he is more than fine, and he is, of course, working on the patented Brown Boots Aghanim Scepter, which we saw so often at the Major, and it had a very powerful effect.
Nyx's Aghanim Scepter with a Leshrac is the most toxic thing ever. It is legitimately just like 30 seconds
less
straight.
shard, I mean.
Yes,
right?
with the less shard in the late game. It's 30 seconds straight of chain stun, and you cannot go high ground against these heroes. You can't play into an area against these heroes, and so much of Dota is about area control right now. Like I was saying with Zephyr, kind of playing in front of the enemy team, but far enough away where he could survive. It's like he is just extending his team's ability to farm by doing that, because they're going to go on him first.
That's actually an interesting point, though, because VP, if you look at their lineup, they don't actually have the greatest high ground push. It's Cuckoo trying to get off the split earth, the static link applied, and there's the Winter's Curse, and the heals coming from the side from Whitemon. Will it be enough into the egg to follow likelihood? Nope. They're first going to get the kill onto Cuckoo, so that's a big kill overall for VP as they clean up yet another. And inside this Wukong's command, 23 Savage trying to save Zephyr. He'll do so successfully, but now they're on the retreat. The VP with a 1K deficit here. Looking for this tier 1 tower probably is, I believe, T1 are just out. Carl is invisible, though. Still has Viper Strike. Doppelganger might confuse them a bit here. Oh, Dust is actually popped, but yeah, he's out of range now.
Oh, the Sentry, I see it. That's so funny. VP's just punishing Cuckoo. Oh, is he going for
Zephyr.
it?
Oh, the Doppelganger before the Impale comes out. Boundless Strike does connect, but yeah, T1 just out of steam here in this particular fight. But yeah, talk to me about this high ground push potential.
Here,
see the impact move.
Cuckoo. Why?
Yeah, he's in the middle of nowhere, for sure.
Okay.
That is a long static link. I mean, that's the beauty of this combo as well. That's something we didn't really mention. You can get a free static link pretty much every time if you want.
He's doing like 300 damage per hit. I love seeing this in like professional matches, because I do the same feeding shit on the Shrek. Just running at towers like, guys, I can get it, I swear. There's somebody just literally sitting in the trees waiting for you to go in there.
And he's actually going for Essence Shroud next for the Leshrac. Is Carl working on a BKB? But once we get to this point of the game when the Shard is online for Lesh, the Ags is online for Zephyr's Nyx Assassin, you have Wukong's Command, you have Egg going high ground. Like, Centaur can tank the tower at the very least, but in terms of building hitters, not the best.
That's another reason why I think DM probably will end up building into hearts and tanky items in the late game, just because...
Against the Sunray even?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Sunray's enough to... Like, what else are you going to go? I mean, I suppose you could go for some Satanic if you if you think you're going to be right-clicking people.
Or you could get Ags so you go up high ground on a different path than you're used to, and then initiate on them in the back.
That's so smart.
That's right.
That's
we have
really
the
good.
Impale. Viper Strike to follow. This looks like the death of DM. Gets off the Stampede, but really to not much avail. But it looks like VP still want to fight here. We see the impetus going to work with White Mom. It looks like he's going to survive. A nice split earth, keeping save in place, and that is a double kill for Carl. We'll see if they push after the fact. But yeah, and then the other side, T1, they have really good push. We talked about Diabolic Edict. I mean, they have a lot of good team fight as well, but with Viper potential shard, that's minus armor to the towers. That's, I mean, if you lose one fight, this is a super fast Rax for sure. You see this beautiful spike carapace. I mean, this is the reason that, this is literally the reason Nyx is picked, both for the, obviously the invis giving you a lot of vision and whatnot, but the spike carapace has got to be the #1 skill.
And once again, it's just the two supports setting up. Every single fight is just this is just the support setting up, and then Viper TP's in and is the damage source. So it's really cool to see supports carry like this.
As we see Whitemon here. Working on the... Oh, actually, is he actually working on that? Yeah.
Holy Locket.
He's getting the Holy Locket as well. So we get the heal strat versus the anti-heal strat / heal strat themselves to some degree.
Is Enchantress going Holy Locket as well?
Not yet.
Dragonlance
going for BKB, but
more of a position for...
I'm sure Wyvern will get it at some point after the Glimmer. In all likelihood. I mean, he does have
that thing is, that
the all-important Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah, of course. That thing's getting nerfed into the ground, Holy Locket.
Oh, yeah.
I think just Vitality Booster and Energy Booster need to be nerfed.
I mean, maybe the build will be changed.
Fluffy hats as well. Have you noticed that every single support in this tournament and the Animajor, if they have open slots, it's like fluffy hats or cloaks. Like, they're never open slots anymore.
Yeah, but that's probably a byproduct of the fact that everybody's getting more gold in general, right? Because if it's not that, it's always going to be some item you're going to have in your inventory.
That's true. Also, just the fact that they're such cheap HP. Bracer, like, you didn't really want the other stats from Bracer anyway. Supports are buying it for the HP.
Yeah, true.
A fluffy hat is just that, except cheaper.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see what kind of patch update we get for sure. But Nightfall has the hood.
He's a big boy.
Almost done with the Manta style. Yeah, he is a quite large individual.
He's gotten large.
In this game, at least. Yeah. He's top net worth, but not too far behind is the Monkey King. He's at Stampede. Zephyr gets off the Spike Carapace, but Hoof Stomp will still connect, and that should set up a freebie for VP. One more Spirit Lance will do it. Into the Doppelganger, and down he goes. So at what point in this build for PL do you go for Shard? Do you wait for Aether Lens? Do you... I mean, obviously you can't... I mean, it's 21 minutes, so you could get Shard next, theoretically.
I think next item he'll probably pick up a Shard. I think you go for the Shard whenever it passes the 20-minute mark, essentially, and you're not, you know, building into another item. Like maybe Yasha Shard would have been fine, but like it just passed 21 minutes, and you know he's already got the full Manta, so he's like, oh, okay, I'll just go for it next.
Oh, DM with the initiation. Will they be able to take out Cuckoo before the counter initiation comes? Wukong's command from above, though. 23 Savage gets cursed, and DM is going to pay for his insolence. Looks like nobody from T1 is really in peril here. Cuckoo a little bit low, but he's pretty far away as the egg is providing a lot of space. And it looks like T1 want to retreat now.
They pressed all their spells. Flushes out of mana. On the flip side, though, if you're VP, you can't fight without the Centaur ulti. It's so important for the disengage that you mentioned. Like that to me looks like a really easy or a way to win team fights in this game is to disengage from these eggs and Wukong's commands. And now that Centaur's back up, I think you can go smoke and take a fight. And it's pretty likely, maybe without the curse, it's a little awkward.
I mean, it's a little awkward also that Centaur's the guy that has to initiate for you as well.
It is, yeah, it's strange. It's strange.
And if you're going to initiate, you kind of want to use Stampede at the same time. So, yeah, you got to play it a little bit differently for sure. It's a 3K net worth lead now for T1.
Radiant are scanning.
But overall, the farm discrepancy, it's not like it's basically the mid laners are the biggest discrepancy, the Razor and the Viper. That's where essentially the lead is for the most part. As you can see, successful hoof stomp onto Cuckoo, and with the Centaur coming in as well just to help out a bit.
Cuckoo's a literal maniac. Walking
creating space.
That is some Leshrac chaos right there.
I mean, the cool thing about this hero is you can not be that farmed. You can die a bunch of times, but you still get decent farm at the very least, right?
I think it functions really well too with a lot of the more supporty items like the Eternal Shroud, and you know, a Yule Scepter is not, you know, it's not as expensive as something like a BKB or a Heart, obviously, but it gives you a decent amount of tankiness on Leshrac.
Zephyr only 100 gold away, essentially, from finishing Ags. And that's going to change, I feel like, the complexion of this game. I mean, Roche, we haven't even talked about yet in terms of what team has the Roche advantage, but if there's a Nyx Assassin with all this AoE between Phoenix and the Monkey King, it's going to be pretty hard for VP to fight into that.
Yeah, you probably need... if you're VP, you probably need T1 to press their ultis before you can take Roche, but even then, there's a lot of poke coming from like the Nyx Ags and the Lesh. Like, once again, going back to area control, I think T1's lineup is better at that. But VP, if they can get the right initiation, they do have a lot of chase potential with the PL. He can just chase forever and keep killing people, and then Razor's gonna have like plus 300 damage.
Oh, we have the initiation yet again. Wukong's command is out, but it's not gonna be able to save Cuckoo. Winter's Curse to follow. Look at the damage to Nightfall. He's trying to get out with that doppelganger. Will be successful for now, but the egg right next to him, he definitely cannot kill it, so just has to run, and now being chased by the Monkey King. And here's the counter initiation again. DM does get the successful hoof stomp off. 23 Savage getting all his damage stolen. Gets off the Jingu finally, but the Boundless Strike only hits one. Not a whole lot of heal other than from Whitemon. It looks like it's going to be his death as a result. So 2 for nothing. Impetus coming through. Not enough to take out the Phoenix in the meantime. Zephyr showing off his Aghanim Scepter, but he is left all alone. All the damage reduction in the world will not save you there. Beautiful fight from VP.
Yeah, amazing kiting from them. With the PL having a defusal and with Razor like literally stealing damage throughout the entire fight, they really want to take these long fights, especially if you can retreat to a high ground like that where you have vision down already. I mean, that's perfect. That's exactly where you want to fight. Cuckoo, once again.
Yeah, dies right away again.
A little ballsy and doesn't really have the items to be running in face first like that.
I thought Nightfall would die here, though, regardless. Winter's Curse definitely saved him for a bit. Egg forces him out, and 23 Savage puts himself in a bit of harm's way here.
Yeah, great hood pickup from Nightfall, too. If he doesn't have that item, he's dead there.
Yeah, I mean, he had the Jingu stacks up and then didn't Boundless Strike until after the procs were done already, so didn't get any heal out of it.
He had got all of his damage stolen, too, so I think even with the Jingu, he was going to heal for nothing. It's a really awkward situation, and it's exactly the situation that you want to force if you're VP. And the spell casting that they needed to do to force that,
look at that.
It's not easy.
Look at that, Jenkins.
Oh my god.
What do you have to say for yourself, young man?
All right. Well, nobody should be listening.
Stampede. They're going to find Whitemon. Hoof stomp. Double edge. Kaboom. Kaboom. Nightfall gets the credit for that. So Aghanim Scepter, at least for now, will be in DM's inventory.
Can I say something here? I really hate birds.
You hate birds?
It's satisfying to me. I hate birds. I think the tweeting is very annoying. There's this bird that sits on my window in the mornings at like 3 a.m. And tweets into the window, and it's very annoying.
Thank you for sharing that information.
I scare it away every single day.
Well, speaking of birds, I have no segue. That was so bad. PL dies. That's the Aegis. He's actually completely surrounded. Monkey King gets off the Wukong's command, and yeah, VP just have to leave their PL. That is not how you want to use the Aegis. He is dead for 60 seconds, and now the chase with the tree dance. 23 Savage, like a bird on the trees. Does he have enough damage? No.
So beautiful.
Save gets away.
That was so good.
Thank you.
I think VP just overestimating a little bit their strength after taking that really nice fight previously. You know, once again, the execution that they had to do to get that fight in their favor was hard. It was really hard. And, you know, doesn't necessarily mean that you can run at towers against this Lesh plus Nyx. As we talked about, this might be the single greatest duo for defending towers in the entire game currently. So you need to be damn sure that you're strong if you're going to run at their tier 2s.
Yeah, I wonder what the best 5 would be. That would be an interesting list to put together. Invoker would have to be on there at some point, right?
For like high ground defending?
Yeah.
You know, there's the obvious ones like Zeus and Tinker, but...
Tinker's pretty annoying too, yeah.
But if you catch him, it's all over.
Oh, 23 Savage with a Balanced Strike. Will find save. Question is, will he get the kill this time around with the help of Whitemon? Stampede to follow, though. 23 Savage just going to TP out. Will be successful to dive away. Zephyr and Cuckoo will likely fall here, though. So a little bit of miscommunication potentially from T1. And VP gets some pretty value. I mean, Cuckoo is position 3. He's died a lot this game.
He's having a tough one, and I think
he's not a big boy.
He's not a big juicy boy this game. I think a decent item for him would be like a Glimmer Cape. You often see offlaners who are not having such a good game going for something like this, but he's just going for the full greed. He's going for a Bloodstone. He thinks that he's not going to get punished for this, which is an interesting choice, but it is reflected in a lot of other of T1's games. They're a big Doom-picking team, and that hero...
Oh, mid-dive. Nice hoof stomp from DM. They do have egg, though.
They don't once again, it's not damage dealers. But I do like that DM and Kingslayer are running around and just forcing things. Like, this time they don't use the ult, so it's not as bad as, like, the top time. But just the idea in general of, like, making the enemy team scared of you for entering into an area is really good.
Yeah, we have the Mindbreaker now in the PLs. We see 23 Savage wind up his ultimate into the Boundless Strike. Cold Embrace is going to save DM for now. Winter's Curse to follow. This will give him a lot of space. DM just barely gets out with his life. Cuckoo is surviving inside that Wukong's command, and now the chase is on for T1. They're going to focus on Carl. Gets that static link off with the BKB to follow. GPK has a BKB of his own. We see the Boundless Strike, or the Jingu Mastery, I should say, proc. And that's a 1-for-1 exchange to start things out. Nightfall deep within the Tier 2 tower right now. He does not have Aegis. He does have Heart, but he's extremely tanky right now. And fight might actually just break up here. So the two mid laners end up dying.
Yeah, 1-for-1, but directly in front of the T1 base. So if you're VP, you're pretty happy with that. You get a tower. And you know that they have this added strength of like the tower aura. They've got the tower doing damage. They've got the TP locations. And so if you're winning fights here for VP, you're really happy about this.
And we can see that. Back to Centaur watch, Jenkins. Very important. He has the point booster.
Okay.
So.
Oh, he could be building a Scotty.
Nah,
that, you know?
on Centaur? What?
All right, here, let me bail myself out here.
Okay, sure.
Here's the thing. GPK's popping off on this Razor, okay? He's dead, I know. Let's relax on that, guys. That's not a big deal. 1-for-1 trade. But he's going to carry the game. And PL does not have an Aghanim Shard. Why do I have this job? Why am I here?
Yeah, well, PL going for the... I mean, it was a 50-50 at the beginning of the game, right? Which kind of a build is he going for? But yeah, he's going for the more... I mean, it's a tanky... And this is the traditional build.
Of course, it's just so obvious. There's not much illusion clear on the enemy team.
I mean, I took your word for it. I mean, again, the Ether Lens build is pretty strong. We've seen it a lot.
I'm a stupid offlane player. I don't... These carry players, they know the math. You know, they're much better than we are here. They know the math on what a heart is going to give them in the game and if they can survive versus the magical damage. And his read on it looks to be right. In that last fight, he was very tanky. Couldn't even tell like which one was a real PL.
That's right. We have a 4-man smoke now from T1. And we won't know when Roshan is up for a bit here. Looks like we're going to find Save, who has a BKB already on the Enchantress. My goodness. Winter's Curse. It's a solo one for now, though, as the disengage is there with the Stampede. Talked about that before. VP taking full advantage of that. It's going to cost the egg already. Viper pops the BKB. Carl's in a lot of trouble. Staying alive for now, but the static link still applied, and GPK in the end finally gets the kill. But now he's put himself a little bit in harm's way. Has no save for him. It's another with a nice stun. Yeah, 1-for-1 again on the mid laners, but the question is, will this turn into more? Hoof Stomp comes in, a nice dodge from 23 Savage. He gets the Boundless Strike up. He is doing so much damage. Look at this stun from Zephyr. Again, huge Ravage, essentially. And T1 turning this around again. Kingslayer inside the trees. Split Earth connects. Give it to Zephyr. Damn it. He should have gotten it. That's the MVP of that fight. My God.
Okay, another reason that Zephyr's a literal god is that in every single one of these fights, do you see how this PL has absolutely no mana? He's just chain mana burning him every fight.
Yeah, true.
And it sounds like, oh, well, that's easy. Well, not against PL. You don't know which one's the real goddamn PL. So he not only the PL can't doppel the beautiful Ravage stun because he has no mana, as we see.
Yeah, we got 8 seconds for the impact move here.
Yep.
Just wait for it.
I honestly think the mana burn is more impactful because he can't doppel.
Yeah, that was a mischief attempt at the dodge there. And Save is literally on top of him. And I think he gets stunned out of this too, right? Why does Impale work behind you? Why?
And it's also very conveniently Whitemon. All right, we keep praising these supports, and they just keep doing more and more to impress us.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of the caster curse. I don't know what the caster blessing this game.
They were like in sync. The line of the Phoenix Sunray was just right on top of the Ravage.
Yeah.
Conveniently.
Very convenient. Almost like it was planned.
But once again, the mana burn to me was just really sick. Like the PL had Doppelganger, and if he survives because he dodges the stun, they could win the fight.
Yeah.
PL does enough damage to kill everybody.
Yeah, so now T1 with a 5K net worth lead, and we'll find out when Roshan spawns in the next 10 seconds. That's obviously going to be a big deal. As, I mean, we talked about the shards in this game, but Leshrac shard is really good. We talked about Viper. If you want to go high ground, it's a really good one. We're going to see a fight. Looks like Save might take a tumble here. Cold Embrace is going to keep him alive for now, but you can see the pseudo counter in the Sunray coming through. Nice Winter's Curse to disengage. Might actually buy enough space for VP to chillax and reset here. Sending out some illusions. Still using to cover the Wukong's command, but now VP. Perhaps they want to fight now that big ult is down. Zephyr.
He's just still there. He doesn't.
Yeah, he gets
immortal.
the mana burn, the Impale. Now getting surrounded. Hoof Stomp is there. Balance Strike is going to save him for a little bit here. Spike Carapace in that AoE. And look at this. Centaur has nothing to work with now. Cold Embrace. Now you're stuck within the midst of T1 as an entire team. Centaur is not tanking in that situation.
Is Carl just solo killing Kingslayer here?
He is doing a lot from basically global range there, right? The global range attacks from Carl.
Absolutely.
Enchanted Quiver on top of the Hurricane Pike. Good, clean stuff. I think he has a talent for that too, right? Let's see if I'm right. Yep, 100 attack range. I knew it.
Of course, you are the Viper expert.
Played a few games of Viper in my day. 60% win rate with this talent. It's good stuff. Basically a 50-50 though on the pick rate.
It should be higher. It should be a higher pick rate after the major and after this tournament. The right-clicking, like tower-taking Viper seems a lot better. Like he doesn't even have the shard because he doesn't feel like he needs it. They're not really looking to push, and if they do push, they already have a Leshrac and a Monkey King.
Good attempt from Zephyr on that Spike Carapace. I mean, that's the thing about this Nyx Assassin, just as a hero concept that makes him so strong, is if you have any AoE on the other team, a Spike Carapace just gets the stun, and that could just be the end of the game in a lot of cases.
Yep. Or you get the Aghanim Scepter. You don't even need to stun somebody off of the Spike Carapace. It just becomes an AoE stun with that thing.
True.
And the follow-up from Leshrac, like they have so much chain stun. Even without the Lesh Shard, we saw how much chain stun they had in that fight on the Centaur. Like, he couldn't move.
All right. Looks like Roche #2 going T1's way for now, but VP might be coming. It's going to be a little bit too late with that Zephyr stun coming out again. GPK gets his BKB off. He gets the static link as well, but they have to stampede away. There's no way they can fight into this. Becoming a regen rune just for a bit. Don't think they're going to be fooled by that. As the Viper, as we kind of expected, taking. It was between him and the Lesh, but Lesh has just been, you know, he's a position 3. He can get it at some point himself, but you get the poison attack on buildings and the minus armor applied to it.
It does seem like they have enough area control right now, and now they just want to take towers.
23 Savage finds save. Oh, popping that BKB and just running away.
He's a gem, so that BKB.
Yeah, true.
Very nice. I think...
2 seconds faster. My goodness.
Wow,
what a record.
What a stat.
Speedrun BKB from Miss Enchantress herself. Great stuff.
You don't see it often, but I do think BKB on supports is underrated, and it's really cool that he went for the gem immediately after picking up the BKB because he knows that there currently isn't anything to stop his BKB TP, so the gem's never going to be lost.
But he won't have BKB for this potential fight here. 23 Savage with that BKB. Plenty of time to work with. And just pounding into this minus armor tower now, thanks to Carl on the backside. And Zephyr, he's going to get Winter's Curse. Okay. A lot of damage reduction. You can see the heal coming out from Whitemon. They're going to apply all their pressure to him if they can. The question is it going to be enough? Zephyr looks to be falling here, so that's going to be a good pickup for VP. The egg with the Sunray just a little bit too late, but even if they lose Zephyr, perhaps they can still fight. No. T1 now on the run. Nice stomp from DM on the back line. GPK trying to go in, but the Wukong's command is enormous with this 25 talent. And DM just dies. Split Earth connects onto Kingslayer. I think with that now, potentially can push, but the buyback down to the Wyvern. He's already used his ultimate. Faking out this balance strike, will finally use it to connect. Static Link is applied still. Better be careful for 23 Savage here as Cuckoo gets off the Split Earth. Not going to connect it on anybody though. 23 Savage with that Jingu Mastery. Nice Cold Embrace, but the Sunray to counter it. Will it be enough? It's going to be pretty close. dives away to safety, but GPK finds his way to the grave regardless. Finally, Nightfall, in the midst of things, finally gets that Phoenix kill, but it's going to cost him so much here. And Nightfall with barely any mana to work with. Focusing on a Cuckoo, 23 Savage again with a Boundless Strike. He just, I mean, he still has the Aegis and still has this mega farm. Trying to find the right illusion, and Cuckoo looks to be falling to Nightfall. Gets off that Ghost Scepter, but it's going to delay the inevitable here. So VP do hold, technically speaking. Did cost some buybacks. But they don't lose racks.
Yeah, that was an interesting fight. A whole lot of T1 wanting to get out after Zephyr died, and then VP recognizing that without him, a large portion of their disable is gone for the fight. And then T1 was just like protecting their back lines as they were trying to retreat. I don't think they really wanted to fight that. It was just like, okay, this guy's overcommitted, so let's go on the Razor. He's overcommitted, and then that basically results in T1 overcommitting, and then VP goes and they go with the Razor and they kill everybody else. It's just very awkward. And it kind of all started from Zephyr playing on the high ground there, but I think if you're in Burrow and that happens...
Is he actually getting this?
You don't want to exit Burrow. Is he getting what? Rapier?
Yeah. He went back and forth between MKB and Rapier. Obviously, I mean, there is a Butterfly on 23 Savage, so MKB would make a lot of sense, and obviously Rapier does not give True Strike anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like PL is one of the worst Divine Rapier carries in the game.
It is, but you do get a crit talent at level 25.
That is true.
I'm not sure if he is, maybe he'll go for that. We'll see. I think if he's going for the Rapier, he probably will go for that.
Yeah, we can see that most of the pickups are for the Doppelganger cooldown. Pretty overwhelmingly so.
I do agree with the sentiment, though, that he's really thinking about it, that they need damage. They need something big to win this game, because even when they're playing the fights extremely well, as he goes for the 4-second Doppelganger cooldown, thank you very much, Nightfall. I will not be here tomorrow.
So Divine Rapier. Okay.
I feel like they need it. I really do. I think even if you're taking these fights that are going really well for VP, they're really hard to execute, and they're just long and painful, and they're not something that feels reliable. And then even if you win these fights, imagine going high ground into this Nyx plus Lesh. They haven't even dealt with that yet, and that's the hardest part to deal with at T1's draft.
2.5-second cooldown, another Toxin.
Very reasonable stuff there.
Yeah, the 25 talent and the Spell Prism. All right, 23 Savage gets Hoof Stomp, but we do see the Force Staff to safety here. So no Divine quite yet. About 1,000 away from being able to finish it. And again, it's a PL, so I'm not even sure how strong that is. I mean, we'll see. And I think the idea behind the Doppelganger cooldown for this game is if you lose the Divine Rapier, you die.
Yeah.
The Doppelganger, I mean, that's a great safety measure for yourself.
Yeah, sure. Makes sense.
Oh, the Spike Carapace is going to keep the Razor in place into the right clicks from 23 Savage, but there is the Aghanim Scepter Stampede coming through with all that damage reduction to come. Nightfall, oh, the Phoenix staying alive for now. Not able to get off Egg, though, so a nice first kill for VP. See if the buybacks come through on T1 side or not. Split Earth will connect, though. This will be a huge kill. Big impale on the two heroes. And it looks like DM takes the tumble first. Cold Embrace did save the PL for the time being, but Nightfall just doesn't do enough damage to actually make a difference there. GPK just getting chased by Cuckoo, who's been dying all game. And we actually will live thanks to that Yules. 23 Savage now in enemy lines is so tanky himself with that Butterfly.
Look how fast
trying to dodge a little bit here. And of course, the rest of his team on the backside. Zephyr continuing to get these big impales out. Cold Embrace not able to withstand this damage. Boundless Strike is there. And finally, save will go down. So it's now a 4 versus 3. They do get that full set of racks in the bot lane. And it looks like they're just going to reset.
Yeah, they need mana on their heroes for T1. So it does make sense to back off there. I don't think your high ground siege is particularly hard. You just literally hit with the Viper from 2,000 range away. And my God, Cuckoo. He goes for this like greedy build, and it's absolutely paying off. 23 Bloodstone charges. And he's got the Invis
That's
cape
after
too.
he died a bunch of times.
Yes, yeah. So, like, he accepted that he was going to die a lot in the early game, and then decided that his late game is going to go really well. He's going to build
maybe now
game.
I'll get very tanky.
Yeah. We have the Rapier now.
Okay, Rapier online for Nightfall. He is hard to kill, has a Doppelganger talent like we talked about, has BKB, has Heart. But, again, not a typical Divine Rapier type hero.
No. The question is, who does he need to blow up first with this? He's not going to blow up Monkey King, because the Wukongs, I think, is going to protect you, even through Rapier damage. I guess Cuckoo's not bad to blow up, but he's got a Ghost Scepter and an Invis Cape, so he's not going to be easy to kill either. Zephyr's got Ghost Scepter, he's got Neon Disc.
And so I think something we haven't really talked about is fighting for Nightfall is actually, when the BKB is down, the Nether Toxins that are going to be all over the battlefield, you can't create new illusions in that. So
yeah, those don't matter so much now, though, that he has the Rapier.
That's true. He's basically just like a regular carry now.
That is a cool idea, though, that you're not able to spawn illusions, so you're just not playing based off the illusions anymore. Just get a Rapier, go raw damage, going for the Abyssal, too. Obviously, your illusions don't benefit from that either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had the Shard queued up, but changed his mind here.
Yeah, at this
just
point.
Wants to go with against everything that you said in the early game.
Yeah, maybe that is the idea, is that he's just like, my illusions are going to die anyway, so I'm just going to be a regular carry, Agi carry, which is a cool concept.
Yeah, and this next, they're getting scanned right now, so T1 do know this could be the game-ending fight here. 23 Savage, Balanced Strike came out.
Oh, that's a big item on Monkey King, or a big rune on Monkey King.
Oh, Nightfall. Oh, he's in a lot of trouble. It's already at half HP. Pops the BKB. They now see the Divine Rapier. Do they have the damage to actually finish off? Big Wukong's command to come out. It's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange to start things out just on supports. All right, he's beating the crap out of his own teammate here, but it looks like Cuckoo will survive with that Bloodstone thereafter. Nice Impale from Zephyr yet again. There's the Balanced Strike. They really want this Divine Rapier onto Nightfall. Attempting to get out at half HP again, and Carl is coming. They're going to get into the trees. We go. And this, nice doppelganger, but you can see the Jingu stacks coming through. A nice stun from Centaur, saving, but Zephyr again. The Impales have just been...
That's got to be game. Yeah, that's game.
So on point this game. It was a good last-ditch effort, but just didn't work out for VP. T1 played crispy this game.
Those supports, man. What the hell was that?
It's the first time I've praised somebody, and then they
didn't immediately feed.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's surprising because Whitemon, when we were praising him before, he would always die right after the replay,
true.
right? So,
Whitemon, his deaths feel like they're space creators a lot of
No,
them.
I agree.
Right?
We're memeing about it, but I agree. I mean, he's a position 5. The guy just sits in side lanes, and he's annoying. So, like, he's doing his job. But, yeah, those supports. It's great to see supports carry games so hard. Like, I don't even care what all the cores did. Cuckoo ran around feeding. He did cool stuff in the late game. But that was mostly just the supports. And supports don't get enough love. So I'm super happy to see that.
You should make a video on that. Make sure you have the big arrows, though. That's the important thing to keep in mind. This little note.
No, I have to change the meta because Dota
Cinema
Cinema's doing that now. So.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's go to the panel and see what they have to say about this game 1 for T1.
No clickbait here. Oh my god, best game ever. Southeast Asia destroying Eastern Europe. No, it was a damn good game though, I gotta say. We're gonna go to a break, and when we return, T1 versus VP, the analysis.
Bitch, you got me fucked up. I don't know what's up. Pour that shit in my cup. We bout to turn up. Crank this shit up so loud. Sounds like we're sold out in front of a whole crowd. We lose control now. Don't take this shit too personally. Everybody got a different version of me. Everybody gotta be learning from me. Everybody wanna be working with me, and I feel like there's uncertainty and urgency to find out what you wanna be. But honestly, we change our minds constantly, so stop and breathe and find out who you wanna be. Failure ain't an option, so I'd be cautious. I hope that you're watching. Don't try to stop this, work until I'm nauseous. Cause I will not quit, no, because I want this. Don't try to stop me, failure ain't an option, so I'd be cautious. I hope that you're watching. Don't try to stop this, work until I'm nauseous. Cause I will not quit, no, because I want this. Don't try to stop me now. all agree. Did you learn anything? Really worth anything? 200 grand later and we're not even working. Student loans worth more than what we're earning. Best lesson I learned is to keep on searching. Find your true passion and get to work. And better take action or you end up serving. Yeah, that's a fact. So you better clean up, no act. So you better grab yourself a sack and tell the world they can suck on that. Don't come back, pack your bags. You take a trip and don't relax. You hit the switch and just attack. You find your niche and make some racks. Don't hold back. Everybody wake up. It's time to break up with the life you made up. It's time to trade up. Live the life you want now. A life you don't doubt. I could give a fuck how. Just figure it out. Wake up, man, this life is a blur. Everyone's got an opinion, so which one you prefer? Cause I'll give you one that's coming from an entrepreneur. Don't give up on your dream, it is what you deserve. Failure ain't an option, so I'd be cautious. I hope that you're watching. Don't try to stop this, work until I'm nauseous. Cause I will not quit, no, because I want this. Don't try to stop me, failure ain't an option, so I'd be cautious. I hope that you're watching. Don't try to stop this, work until I'm nauseous. Cause I will not quit, no, because I want this. Don't try to stop me now. You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro, don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fucking fight back. You ain't gonna make it, you ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faking. Nah, I don't wanna hear it anymore, I don't wanna hear it anymore. All these fucking thoughts, they are not what I need anymore. I'm about to shut the motherfucking door on all you poor ass haters with your heads in the clouds, talking out loud so proud. You better shut your goddamn mouth before I do more speak out. It's about to head south. You're never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Or will you fucking fight back? But my legs heavy, I don't get it. How come I haven't hit it already? Still working, I'm still learning, I'm still searching, finally earning something, finally turning something called a profit. If I hear you talking shit, don't get caught in it. I'll be popping off and hit your ass, dropping all your shit. Yeah, I promise this, I got promises. You ain't stopping this, cross my shit, you'll be knocked unconscious, bitch. That's the consequence, I got this, I will not quit. Man, I'm on it, honest. I'm gon' launch quick, then I'm gone. It's just a matter of time before I'm over the climb and moving under my prime. Just quit my 9 to 5, I'm rocking, and they watching, cause it's shocking. Dropping all these top 10 songs, so stopping. It's time to live my life, it's time to live, not die. Wish I could slow down time and just enjoy the climb. And I'm the one to get it, bro. I swear to God I get it, bro. So don't just let me get it.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gon' get it,
yeah, I'm the one to get it, bro. I swear to God I'll get it, bro. Hey, I ain't never giving up. Said I never give up. I got this, man, I got it. I will not quit, I'm on it. Never rock it. Got the block lit, I'm toxic. Spitting logic, make them nauseous. Honest, then I stop this. Never cautious, drop it. I'm the hardest. Dark, bitch, watch it. I'm the fucking king of rock, bitch. Poppin', spitting hot shit. I'm popping, chronic. I think I'm motherfucking lost it. Back, better facts, making racks where it's at. Have my back to the mat, not an act, that's a fact. We attack in a pack, no react, no react. Think I'm black off his ass, while I rap, not the step. Throw a jab, give a crap. We're advanced, I'm the man. Gotta play it better than both brands. Goddamn, I'm a rhyme till I die. Never lie, that's a lie. I don't try, I defy. Yes and nah, that I'm right, yeah.
Like a student though, working on a movement, yeah, I'll do it cause I'm in the zone. And you know that I'm ready for the shows. How it goes, I don't know, but I'm waiting till I'm chose. Front row, here I go. All these people wanna know what you think of them lately. Do you really love me or do you really hate me? On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you grade me? All this social media has got me going crazy lately. Everything's inflated, mainly everyone's invaded. Privacy is naked, man, I really hate it. God, I really hate it. I just wanna make it through all this fake shit. Living in the real life, living for some real times. Talk about the real climb, passionate in real rhymes. Steal time back from my 9 to 5, taking back my fucking life. I just wanna feel alive. And I'm the one to get it, bro. I swear to God I get it, bro. So don't just let me get it.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gon' get it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the one to get it, bro. I swear to God I'll get it, bro. Hey, I ain't never giving up. Said I never give up. Fake it till I make it. Motherfucking take it back from these haters. Playing tracks for the traitors. Got the passion in depth when it happens. Factions take actions, drafting their captains. It's happening. I'm raising my status, facing the madness. I'm out gaining traction, avoid the distractions. I'm snapping, no captions, attracting reactions, adapting, attacking, commanding the masses. I'm practicing habits, I don't fucking ask bitch, I just fucking grab it. I am never static, massively active, expanding, backslid, planning to have it. So I will go capture it, and I'ma stay after it. I'm gonna fucking master it, put them on blast it. They will never last it, don't be so dramatic. Not my demographic, this shit is democratic. They phone effects, yeah, bitch.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going through it. I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rise just like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooters gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I fall. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing
you just get the stacks over time. It's eventually gonna deal damage, so you don't care too much about a static link in the laning stage. And T1 opening up with Nyx Lesh. This has been the strong opener during the second season in China. I talk a lot about China because China is super strong and competitive region. Correct. And because Southeast Asian team also, they screamed hell a lot of against the Chinese teams. Like this was their go-to, and we can see the improvement already. T1, like this is such a strong opener. I think this might be one of my favorite ones.
I think the main thing about Nyx Assassin is the development of the hero, especially within the European region and Eastern European region. We didn't really have Nyx Assassins buying Aghanims. There wasn't any major changes to the Aghs itself, maybe an extra little 10% damage reduction increase, now 50, but like overall, the item never really changed. But just players realized how strong it is. Like, if you're able to play in an area, burrow strike in, have this additional range on your spells, and just be obnoxious, it is so hard to deal with. So I think that is
mana
the
burn,
main thing.
especially in the previous game against the Phantom Lancer. There was a cute little play coming out from Wyvern in the previous game where he uses Holy Locket to give him mana so he can at least use the Doppelganger and get out of the trouble. But yeah, overall, mana burn, one of the most annoying spells to play against this time around. Wyvern and Invoker. So
yeah, you're talking about all this mana burn, and then they pick Invoker into it. I feel like every single time I see Invoker into Nyx, it's a bad time.
But I like this for the idea of Nyx is a hero that plonks himself inside the ground, right? And he needs mana himself to use his spells. So Invoker, sure, he might get annoyed by what Nyx brings, but if he can chuck an EMP where Nyx is burrowed, like, you are going to be able to completely mitigate his overall presence, right?
Sure, but he doesn't have to be burrowed to be casting mana burn. He can be walking around.
I know, but I mean the big picture impact, you know?
We've been theory crafting in our green room against the Nyx Assassin who's burrowed. Maybe, just maybe, get a Skywrath Mage, something that Virtus.pro really likes to have. The long duration silence, can't use spells, can unburrow. That's true. And also ton of burst potential coming out from him.
Yeah, the other alternative was Doom, but Doom is banned out, so can't keep him perma-burrowed, unfortunately.
The VP, again, like we mentioned it already, they have this Invoker now. It was banned out previously, but yesterday when they played against Alliance, it was very active. You know, they had these kind of axes, Timbersaw off lanes. The Invoker was kind of the connecting piece of the puzzle, and that's the type of momentum that VP want to bring. Because like in that first game, they were ahead. they had tactically been able to locate the Viper, the Leshrac multiple times alone, and were in control of the game. It's then T1's dominance of just kind of teamfight execution later on, where they're able to keep that Viper alive and get it around. So I think VP, they might just be fully subscribing to all-out fight early on just to try and overwhelm T1, like they have overwhelmed most teams in the tournament thus far.
And I like this. Enchantress, you know, we've managed to beat it quite hard, and we'll show you how to deal, you know, with maybe you figure out how to deal with all the pressure that we put with the Enchantress.
Do you think VP is going back into the replay and just really understood how the Ench was locked down? Do you think they might even try and copy some of that
Possibly,
style?
yeah, because he was definitely shut down. And this is the big counter.
The Mirana, exactly.
The old school counter, Mirana, just one-shot the creep. You know what would be cool? If Glyph worked on the creeps and your summons. So you see the arrow coming, you Glyph it.
Oh, as in like the arrow won't insta-kill through Glyph?
Yeah, but it still insta-kills through Glyph anyway.
It does,
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Although if you persuade or enchant a lane creep and you use Glyph, it works on that creep. Even though it's persuaded or it kind of like you're controlling it. It's weird. But it does get insta-killed.
But still, you're saying you want Glyph buffs, you're saying that Glyph is also broken. Interesting. Kunkka? Ooh!
This is off-lane.
Hey?
Off-lane
DM Kunkka?
In our interview with DM himself, he did mention the reason why he likes playing Kunkka is because of winning the lane. The Tidebringer, you play on the range creep, the additional damage just eats through these carries and just applies a lot of kind of pressure.
I think what they can do is put Dragon Knight possibly against Kunkka, because he can out-region that early on. Like once you get to that level 3, level 5, 1-1-3 build on Dragon Knight, once you're level 5, should be enough. There's a lot of harassment and potentially a tri-lane coming out from the Enchantress, Nyx Assassin +1. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
The thing with T1, their draft, they always have this double flex between like offlane and mid, right? It's like the Leshrac, the DK, the previous game they had the Viper and the Leshrac again. So it's just kind of like, and now their second pick as well, so they have the ultimate last pick. What is the carry right now for VP? What is going to be?
Faceless Void.
Could
Yeah,
be.
looks good, because they have no saves inside the Chrono, and the combo is too powerful. Either just like they have Winter's Curse into Arrow, they have X Mark into Arrow. If it's a Chronosphere, they definitely need to ban out Faceless Void. It's just too good of a hero with the hero combination that they got.
Do you remember the Sunstrike spell, Lacoste? You said you keep forgetting it.
I remember. I know Sunstrike, but I keep forgetting about the Cataclysm.
Okay, good.
There we go.
VP gonna ban out 23 Savage's Monkey King yet again. Don't want to have to deal with picking their melee offlaner, which has already basically been confirmed to be Kunkka, into whatever the carry is. And Ursa's already been banned out by T1 themselves. 23 Savage still has his Terrorblade. Oh no, never mind. Terrorblade's first phase banned out also. Wraith King still available. And would be a good answer to maybe preemptively counter a Faceless Void.
The thing is with VP, it's like they have control of what they pick first. And I think for them, they have a lot of setup, but they don't really have damage right now. And my fear is if they go for Void, they will rely on him getting 2-3 items and Invoker, then having Ags +1 to really kill things. So I'd rather them go for a more active style of carry.
That's an interesting hero ban. Slark by T1.
Doing their homework. I think right now what T1 is basically presenting to people is they don't have reliable team fight, and their stuns is pretty cheap. So any more of these elusive heroes will be kind of very prominent at running and catching the backlines. Because like, again, like Nyx just won a game because VP's only way to take the fight was to stay in one area and kill things. If a Nyx kind of burrows, they can't take a fight elsewhere, right? They need to fight around the Nyx, and they don't have that control. So that's kind of why they're banning out these types of heroes.
What if they get Sanking and the counter Nyx Assassin with the Ags? He burrows, Sanking uses Burrow Strike and strikes him while he's inside. Like that could potentially work.
I do enjoy seeing torrented Nyx Assassins who are burrowed. You see this giant mound fly up into the air.
Yeah, and then you have the Lotus, and then Lotus, the Burrow Strike on the burrowed. Oh my god, there's so Burrowception.
VP ban out the Morphling, of course, 23 Savage Siggy.
Siggy?
Siggy?
Yeah,
oh yeah, you didn't hear the AUI panels? Oh yeah, AUI was bringing Siggy into my lexicon. He was like, oh, MSS, every single time you suggest a hero for him, he's like, oh, that's my Siggy. Hoodwink, that's my Siggy. Tusk, that's my Siggy. It's my signature.
What about Tusk Siggy with the sigil.
Hey, the frozen Siggy.
Siggy, there we go. So what did they need? They banned out Phantom Assassin. I just want to see what they pick.
They're banning out a lot of carries that are very good at going one-on-one. The Slark, the PA, the Ursa.
Is it? They do go for the Void. Okay.
It was pretty obvious.
So why not Wraith King now?
I think that's the go-to. It's just your Skellies, they die against Kunkka in the lane, so it's not the greatest in terms of the lane, but it has been the old school counter to Faceless Void.
Yeah, I guess that also explains the Morphling ban as well. Another hero that could probably survive Chrono Burst.
Maybe something like, if they want to not get Wraith King, I'm thinking maybe Drow Ranger.
I think into Void, like the Drow is very much, they win the game before the Void really comes online. I think that's where T1, most of the games they win, it's from the 20-25 minute fight where they just outplay and then they can take control because they outscale better. And I think that's kind of where they might lean towards a more scaling type of core.
Dragonite gives them push, gives them reliable stun. It's just a hero that I would say doesn't have weaknesses at the moment. Like, he's good at every stage of the game, scales nicely. They decide to go with the Spectre. Okay.
Yeah. It kind of feels like a classic T1 where as long as the Spectre isn't the one just getting blown up instantly, they are just going to be able to take these fights later on. The Virtus Pro, for sure, they do have a nice window to play around Kunkka's laning phase, because I think you cannot disrespect what Kunkka brings to the game. He will be able to play his lane out pretty well, connect with this Mirana, this Invoker, and start applying pressure across the map. But for T1...
Mid-game damage from Dragonite, Enchantress, Nyx Assassin, it's really not that high, especially if they get the boat off, you have a time walk, so it could be a bit tricky. Even Spectre, like first 20 minutes, doesn't do that much, so...
Both teams are kind of in this boat, right? They both kind of, they have their
I think Virtus Pro, they are in the boat because they have
ghost ship. Because they ghost ship this guy.
I did not get
it. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Yeah, you're just way too witty. But yeah, I think both of them, they do have the same issues in regards to the damage they bring. They're going to rely on items. And yeah, I've just been dumbfounded by how smart this man is with his puns.
I mean, you said that DM is going to be able to connect a lot, but in terms of objective-taking capabilities, they're kind of lacking. I don't see much push on the side of VP.
There isn't. They don't have that much tower damage. No tower damage at all whatsoever.
On a catapult. That's going to be their main form.
Alacrity siege creep. That's right. Yeah, too bad. What? No. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
What a shame. But maybe T1 also has some shortcomings. It's going to be exciting team fights no matter what. And you know who's going to cast it? It's your favorite pair, Sunsfan and Jenkins.
Why do you always set us up to fail, Tsunami? Sunsfan here with Jenkins in this game 2 of this best of 3 for the upper bracket. We got Virtus Pro versus T1. T1 looked pretty much unstoppable. I mean, they looked pretty unstoppable this entire tournament and throughout a large majority of the major itself. But have they met their match in VP? Will VP come back to force this into a game 3?
We'll see, Sunman. I think there's
not my name.
A lot of work that you're going to need to put in to take this team out.
Me specifically?
Yes, I think that VP would have a lot less issues than you would.
I see. Well, speaking of the game itself, Jenkins, as you start to go off on tangents that don't make literal any sense, what do you think of the lineups? We got Faceless Void versus Spectre, an old tried and true matchup. Old school.
Yeah, of course. This one to me is a lot more balanced than the previous one, where there were some obvious advantages to one draft versus the other. On the VP side, you have the Cataclysm Faceless Void combo, and I don't think we've seen DM lose with this offlane Kunkka even once. This guy just seems to snowball out of every lane, which is funny because Kunkka's not usually the greatest lane winner from the offlane, and yet he does, and he snowballs. So maybe we'll see that here today. Maybe that's how VP wins this.
Yeah, Nightfall trying to get a little cheeky here, but looks like, actually T1 gets 3 bounty rooms. So that's a nice little bounty for them, if you will. As we have Whitemon's playing the Nyx Assassin this time, my friend. What are your thoughts on that? We don't get to see the Zephyr God. He will be playing the Enchantress this time.
So Spectre Nyx does make sense to me to run these heroes against the Kunkka, because you're just taking a lot of harass damage, but there's not really a huge amount of kill threat unless you get really low versus the Winter Wyvern. Oh, he starts with the EMP on GPK. Carl just easily sidesteps it. But yeah, this lane, it's all about harass, and so having this melee hero in the Nyx that has a ton of HP regen, you're fine playing this lane.
Oh, all right, Spectral Dagger's going to set up the Impale as Kingslayer's taking heavy damage. DM in the meantime, though, just pounding on the Spectre. Looks like Kingslayer will be protected by this wave of creeps, so things will end there, but he definitely got the brunt of the worst end of that stick, as it were. You know a lot about that, Jenk.
Yes, a lot about sticks. For some reason, I guess.
Well, you did talk about birds in the last game, so I just figured to be connected.
Don't even get me started.
And that's how they make nests. I don't know if you know this. Is Kingslayer's getting pushed out of lane by Whitemon. But yeah, what about this lane in particular? 23 Savage on the Spectre against these two heroes. Should he be fine, or will he be worried for his life? Because he talked about how DM's Kunkka has looked really good as of late.
Yeah, it looks like he's taking a lot of harass. So it's hard to say. Once again, it's like this PL thing with the heart. This is something where the carry players will have some idea of what regen they need to sustain through this lane, but it's a little awkward because you don't see Kunkka off lane too much, so it's hard to calculate this even if you're a really skilled carry player.
Ooh, Spectral Dagger. I think that was a little bit of misclick there. Try to get the last hit on the creep, but hit Kunkka instead. But yeah, early on, nothing too much to talk about in terms of CS. Just a lot of harassment in this top lane, especially with Zephyr, which should come to expect. Playing the Enchantress, of course, as Save has to be a little bit careful here.
Nice positioning there from Nightfall, making sure that Zephyr doesn't just get a freebie on Save. Because if he leaps away, he takes so much damage from that impetus. So I think Nightfall actually needed to run over there.
Yeah. What about the Lesh Invoker mid dynamic?
You know, Lesh is active with towers, and Invoker is active for kills. So I think we'll see a lot of Carl running around and trying to set up on towers, and then GPK responding by running there and just looking to get some kills.
If you look at the CS right now, I have to say DM is having a great time overall on this offlane.
Yeah, as usual.
16-0. That is, my goodness.
All right, I have a very important note. Click on Invoker mid lane. That thing, that looks like Exort orbs, that cosmetic.
That's true.
He has Quas Wex. Those are not Exort orbs.
Yeah. That's competitive advantage is what you're trying to say.
Right
Save leaps to the other side of the tree line, and it looks like that's going to save his life. Wait, maybe not. Zephyr. Yeah, not able to find the vision needed. But Cuckoo, in the meantime, if we want to compare the off lanes, he's not having a terrible time. It's 11-6 versus the 12-3 Nightfall. That's probably the bigger story than anything. And Zephyr getting a little bit pressured here by VP. Ooh!
Oh, so close.
30 HP.
This offlane Enchantress, or offlane support Enchantress, it's so easy to play a core in a lane with this hero because it just wins every single support matchup, and then if the support goes away, which is going to happen eventually because of exactly what we're seeing here, then the Enchantress can just go jungle and be really greedy and get huge, or you can sit there and pressure the carry, but DK is pretty similar. DK just always wins lanes, so that means that Zephyr can basically run around and do whatever the hell he wants.
23 Savage getting forced out by DM here, and in terms of mid, I mean, Carl right now is having a pretty freaking good time. About 5 CS advantage just in the last hits alone. But like you said, it is a Quas Wex Invoker. So kind of to be expected. I mean, are you expecting the same kind of build where we see this Spirit Vessel into Midas afterwards?
I think that's a good build.
Tornado, EMP. Oh, arrow just off the mark there from Save. And Carl with that Diabolic Edict will live here.
I think with all of the healing mechanisms that exist in Dota right now that are incredibly strong, as well as the fact that in this game, VP is up against a DK, a Leshrac, and a Spectre, all heroes that are very tanky, all heroes that don't want to have Vessel on them. It's such a good Vessel game. Yeah. They all also run in.
Okay. Ooh, top lane! First blood goes the way of T1.
Level 2 and
level 2 Dragon Tail.
Yeah, really cool.
Under the tower, my goodness. Save is trying to get a little bit of a retroactive kill here potentially, but it's going to leap in. Has level 2 on arrow. And we saw the setup with the Tornado. Of course, you do technically have X marks into arrow as well for a little bit later in the game.
Yeah, that's a much easier combo to hit. The Tornado, it's really awkward because depending on what level the Quas Wex orbs are, the combo's different. So it's one of those things that like it looks easy when it gets hit, and then when you actually play it in a game, it's like, okay, I don't know how the hell to time this thing.
Yeah, that's true. But the reason I really like the Midas after Spirit Vessel this game is, I mean, it's kind of the same tale that we've been seeing throughout the major and this tournament as well. Is the Cataclysm is super important in this game because of the Chronosphere. And if you're playing Quash Wex, obviously you're not going to have those levels of Exhort early, so that extra leveling from the Midas is going to help out quite a bit.
Yeah,
he's going to get pressure here potentially. All right, Tornado into EMP. Will actually clip Carl, so he's basically out of mana at this point. He's taking some Arctic Burn on the side as well. Kingslayer takes a mana burn from Whitemon in turn. But no kills will be traded here.
T1 are so ham, dude. Like, he gets Tornado EMP'd and he just runs into GPK, and he has no levels in Lightning Storm, so this Leshrac does a lot of damage just by walking up to things, which is why I'm kind of surprised that he's winning this lane so handedly, given that he's not using the Lightning Storm to CS. This is purely just utilizing the stun and his last hitting capabilities to win the lane.
Yeah, for sure. Nightfall. Oh, he's actually going to get the TP out here. No cancel available. We'll actually go back to base, it looks like. So being completely pushed out of lane. And in terms of the net worth between him and 23 Savage is not really close right now. I mean, it's almost a full 1,000. Actually, it's more. It's 1,200 gold now for 23 Savage. That is real bad news for VP. You can see the discrepancy here. I mean, Spectre has, you know, historically speaking, wasn't a great laner. Not very good early game, but changed things around a little bit as 23 Savage. Looks like the arrow into the boat actually will all fully combo. So nice rotation from VP. We just talked about that net worth advantage. That will help VP now in turn.
Yeah, he just kind of accepted his fate on 23 Savage. Man, this DM Kunkka is looking like the sort of hero that maybe you first phase ban it. I mean, I know obviously it's only 7 minutes into the game, but like he's the only reason that VP is still in this game, given how the safe lane went. Like,
first
top
phase
net
ban?
worth.
First phase?
I don't know. I mean,
he was picked like 4th.
Bro, it's looking pretty sick. I don't know. This guy with Kunkka, he's just such a specialist.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I mean, yeah, he's looked really good so far for sure. Is Carl going to get clipped again by the Tornado? EMP will connect as well. The arrow does not, though, but he's out of mana. The Pulse Nova is not going to do so much. A save jumps in for that Star Storm. It's not enough to take out Carl. He's going to bottle up, and now from the side, Zephyr with the impetus ends up taking out save. And I mean, in the meantime, we see the push from Cuckoo's Dragon Knight and 23 Savage. Yeah, things are looking very good for T1 here. Honestly, they're looking like they're on kind of another level right now from everybody in the tournament.
Yeah, it really is looking like that. Nightfall, man. This is not the hero you want to be jungling on.
Well, you're talking about DM. Looks like they'll find another kill here, so he is the guy that's setting things up, you're right. But yeah, let's go back to Nightfall. I mean, the farm doesn't have boots yet, has just the gloves of haste right now. And still working on treads. See another EMP connect. I mean, what does VP need to do to get the Void back in the game?
Chronosphere with Sunstrike. I think that's what you have to do.
The Sunstrike's not going to do a whole lot.
Oh,
right
that's
now,
true.
Right?
There is no Sunstrike at all.
See,
so
Dragon Tail.
Oh, never mind.
Just to force him out here.
1 point. So they're going to need the Kunkka and the Mirana then. Basically, what I'm thinking is I think they need 2 heroes to do damage into the Chrono, because Void does absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So they're probably going to need a Mirana arrow as well as a Kunkka boat.
I mean, it is a lot of set. Like right now, it feels like Nightfall has to play almost like a pseudo initiator.
Yeah, he's like an offlaner.
And then maybe once he gets a little bit of farm, he can actually expand upon it. Like if he goes for Maelstrom or something like that, he can try to get back into the game. But definitely a rough start from VP overall, other than DM, like you said, who is actually top net worth.
Yeah, he's
good
huge.
lord.
He's huge. That's what I'm saying. This guy just seems like uniquely extremely good at Kunkka. I don't think I've ever seen an offlane Kunkka do this well.
Has his phase boots, has his hood, going for the straight into pipe, it looks like. Do you like this build?
Yeah.
Expecting anything different, or is this pretty much on par?
No, I think this makes a lot of sense, because if we look at T1's lineup, the only source of damage that they have currently is Leshrac. So Carl is just going to be running in, Edict, Pulse Nova, and so if they can protect through that Pulse Nova, I think largely, especially with the boat buff, like nobody's really going to die.
23 Savage gonna take some pressure. DM not quite in range for the X marks the spot. It is only level 2. I mean, that's the biggest reason to actually upgrade this is for that range. Once you get to like level 3, it becomes a lot easier.
It does. Yeah, it really does. It's one of those abilities that's like, it was so bad in the early levels. It's been buffed so many times, and yet...
Well, it was originally nerfed because people started playing him as support, which he wasn't originally intended for.
That's
right?
true. That is true.
As we see the rotation into the bot lane. Tornado, EMP again. Cuckoo gets X marks. Here comes the boat. I mean, he's quite tanky. Let's see if this is enough damage or not. Into the air. Just extreme lockdown from VP. And you can kind of see where the draft comes together here. As Nightfall, again, being forced out. He just has to play Ring Around the Rosie here. TP's into the mid lane.
It's kind of cool that GPK is hard farming the Vessel. I think it's a really important item to get this game. And so they're just using DM's Kunkka to run around. And
oh boy, Vendetta into the Impale. Split Earth to follow. Big kill onto Nightfall. Winter's Curse is there though, as Kingslayer and company have come to try to get a trade. It will be for Carl, it looks like. And it might break up here. But there's the Dragon Form from Cuckoo with that Siege and that annoying Satyr creep as well. So some damage at the very least will be applied to this tier 1 tower. We see the Blade Mail finally online for Spectre. We'll talk about that in just a moment. This creep is just is continuing to get some tank action here for that Siege. There's the EMP again, and this is like, yeah, the EMP has been really on point for GPK. You see the arrow, oh, it connects! Meatball to follow, Impale's only gonna connect on one in the meantime. They just don't have enough damage to follow it up because they used everything earlier.
Wow.
23 Savage will live.
That is a cool call. He walked in front of an arrow as carry for his DK and then walks off. Like, you have to have big cojones to make that sort of play.
Big. Yeah.
Yeah,
big boy, indeed.
Okay, let's not go there.
All right, we see the Intel replay here. And yeah, this was the kill onto Nightfall. Again, just adding insult to injury for his game. I feel like, for the most part, VP, the lanes went okay. Obviously, the off lane was their winning lane, I guess you could call it, because DM's having himself a game. But at the same time, Spectre's doing quite well himself.
Yeah.
But for the most part, a wash mid. It's just that top lane that's such a big discrepancy.
Right, and also the fact that DM is always stacking Ancients with the Illusion.
Oh, wow.
Very nice.
Very nice indeed.
23 Savage. He's looking for the MVP this game. That's 2 sick plays in a row.
Yeah, it looks like Nightfall will be going for the Mask of Madness this game to try to accelerate that farm a little bit. But like I talked about, 23 Savage with the Blade Mail, so it can actually take out some Ancient stacks here. Not the best hero in the world, but you know, when they changed Blade Mail to be...
It got a lot better.
Yeah, for this hero, essentially. Oh yeah, the chip vest as well, that's true. So
that seriously does help on especially heroes that have like high agi and base regen. You just farm so quickly by tanking. I love that Cuckoo, both games, is doing this like, I'm an offlaner, my life doesn't really matter that much. I'm just gonna go to like the worst place on the map and like literally suicide for towers. In the last fight, 23 saved him from that arrow, but I honestly don't think that if he dies there, I don't think he cares, because he's literally just trying to like tank for siege creeps and you know, kill towers like at any cost. And it's a pretty good principle, I think, for offlaners, because your life is less valuable than the other roles, and towers are incredibly valuable, and people are putting all of their eggs in the basket of defending them these days. So why not just suicide for them?
Yeah, Nightfall. Oh, is he actually going Hannah Midas? Are we gonna see double Hannah Midas this game? Is that the play? You're going against a Dragon Knight Leshrac lineup.
He wants a recovery Midas.
Wow.
I think if he's... The thing is, I think he's relying on his other heroes to do damage in the chrono anyway at this point. And so going for the Midas makes sense, because I don't think you can build to like do some, you know, epic fighting in the early game that's going to come from anything other than like the heroes that are already having a really good game. So the Midas is... It does make sense for the timing they want to play for, which is like the Cataclysm timing, eventually.
All right. I mean, he finishes his Mask of Madness first, which is also interesting. We're seeing a Dragon Tail Cuckoo. See the X marks the spot. We'll be going back shortly, but he takes so much damage, they actually burst him down beforehand. My, oh my.
Another
T1 very ready for that.
Another offlaner kind of suiciding for towers. It seems to be a concept that is shared between
among all regions.
Yeah, I mean, you know, all the regions watch each other, especially at the major, and scrimming each other. So in this case, though, he didn't really get any damage, and he's a top net worth dying. So that is definitely a little different. Like Cuckoo, when he's doing it, he's usually like middle of the pack net worth.
Well, as GPK and Nightfall try to farm their Midases, I thought they were actually going to commit to that push, but I guess the Elder Dragon form is about to end. So I feel like if they knew that both heroes were going for Midas, if maybe they haven't gotten vision of Nightfall yet, that they play a little bit more aggressively. Like, what do you think their reaction's going to be to seeing that both? I mean, obviously Invoker should be expected based on the play so far in the last couple.
Probably Roshan. You see the Midases, and then the moment Chrono is down, you just head into Roche, thinking like, okay, they've got like 2,000 gold of just wasted net worth right now, or 4,000 gold of wasted net worth. So let's go take Roche when their abilities are down.
All right, I mean, this feels like it, from VP's side, pretty risky to do this when you're behind already in the laning stage, to get it on 2 heroes. We saw Tundra do it for 3 heroes, and it didn't work out for them in that case.
I think Invoker needs a Midas because
I agree, yeah.
You need the levels to make your Cataclysm worth anything. If you're going to go for this Quas Wex in the early game, and you have to go for Cataclysm because you have a Faceless Void, that basically leaves you with no choice. And then for our boy Nightfall in the Faceless Void, you are just having such a horrible game. I think he's...
I mean, I understand why you would want to go for it, right? It makes sense. But at the same time, 2 heroes going Midas should click something in the head of T1, I feel like. But we'll see. Like, if Virtus Pro can come out in the next 10-15 minutes and not, lose a ton of net worth in the meantime, if they come out even, essentially, that's a huge win for them because they're just going to out-farm them.
You did say last game Invoker's one of the best heroes for defending that high ground.
That is true.
Maybe that's the idea, is that it's like, okay, they're going to get our outer towers, but for those, we have DM to stand in front of them, and then when they push high ground eventually, it's just too much of a pain. That's maybe the logic there, is like they think they can hold out for long enough to make the Midases worth it.
Yeah, but it is very scary because, obviously...
yes, the fluffy hats.
Yeah, double fluffy hat. Nerfs, thank you. But with Dragon Form, it is a little lengthy cooldown, but Leshrac, not so much. A ton of Diabolic Edict, that's constant push.
One thing I do remember hearing from Kunkka players back when this hero was like the go-to mid laner is that he's quite hard to siege these like tier 1 towers into, especially the mid-tier one, because if you walk up to try to commit to it, even remotely, he just X's you from afar, and it's such a low committal thing that he can get a bunch of damage on you, and then if it looks good, they just murder you.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to push into this hero just because of the range on X.
So Cuckoo here has his hood, almost done with his Blink Dagger. Maybe that's what they're waiting for here on the side of T1. They should know that they have some sort of an advantage after this laning stage. As this tier 1 tower is still up, you can see that the sentry is spotting Whitemon right now.
I love this Nyx playstyle, though, to just, once again, playing the absolute perimeter of where is safe for your team and just be tanky. And if the enemy team goes on you, the fluffy hats make you tanky enough.
Yeah, Tornado and the EMP. Spike Carapace comes out into the boat. The big shark is coming. As you just praised Mr. Whitemon, he dies.
God damn it. God damn it, Whitemon. Every time.
It's always him.
I mean, okay. If you're a 5 Nyx assassin, do you care? That's all I'm saying. I don't think you care about this.
I guess that's true.
I mean, you can argue that, like, he's in the river in the lowest of low grounds possible, and there's probably no reason to be there because you know that all of VP are sitting on that hill anyway. So there's that. It's not like he's really extending his team's perimeter by being there. But with that being said, if you are a 5 position and they're using spells on you like that, you're just like, okay, I respawn in 15 seconds. I don't give a shit.
All right, well, we have the double Midas officially online for VP. Of course, you see GPK already been using it for a couple minutes now. Nightfall has his. We'll be going for the BKB next, so extra survivability. I mean, he's a long way from being able to provide damage, though, that's for sure. But then again, they are playing for the late game, it seems.
He's going for a Sange now.
Oh, he changed it up.
Yeah,
okay.
he wants to be a beefy boy.
Yeah. No, that's been the kind of the item of the last year, I want to say. It's been getting nerf after nerf after nerf, and we're still seeing it pretty consistently.
Never enough, is it?
I mean, maybe they're just used to buying it at this point. Maybe it's not as good as we think. As we have the dragon.
Status resistance to OP.
Yeah, Cuckoo blinks in. Nightfall's able to time walk out, though. And we can see that not really much in the way of stacks here. But they are getting some vision in the enemy triangle for the time being. And I mean, does VP actually want to fight? They're grouping up as if they're ready to. With a couple Midases, I feel like you're... Ooh, an Aghanim Shard for Kunkka. So we're going to see the tidal wave. I have not seen, especially this early,
It's legit.
Interesting.
It's good. It does a lot of damage. It's a huge duration. It's more of a disable now because it actually knocks people back for the duration now. They can't move during it. I think it disarms too. Does it disarm? I don't remember. They cannot attack. Yeah, it does disarm now.
Okay.
So it's a significantly better disable than before. And it's funny. It looks really funny.
Yeah, it is funny, and it fits the theme. So that's why I thought it was kind of a meme in the beginning stages. But typically you see it like after an Aghanim Scepter or something like that for the Kunkka, when you're playing this off-lane, like chaos-inducing role, where you're just trying to create as much space as possible, and somebody else does all the damage for the most part. Or the caster build, I guess you could call it as well.
I think because of the caster build, this hero is legitimately an offlaner. The move speed as well means that you don't need early boots. You can go for some bracers. He has all of these like torrent damage and stun talents.
Look at, he went for the damage talent though. Interesting. Typically when you want to go Ags, you go for the other one for sure. So that indicates that he's probably not going to go for that. As Cuckoo jumps in with a Dragon Tail, impetus from the side. Kingslayer does get off the Cold Embrace for now. Nightfall again has his Chronosphere. It's going to connect onto 2, but they will find the Wyvern in the end. EMP right on top as Whitemon gets torrented, will be brought down. So it's a 1-for-1 with the buyback. Of course, Wyvern still has that ultimate to work with as GPK getting chased. Gets arrowed under the tier 1 tower, so 23 Savage has to be a little bit careful here. The Starstorm to follow. He's taking so much damage, especially with that Spirit Vessel applied. DM has the X marks into Torrent, and this should be enough to take out the position 1 from T1. And Nightfall with the Value Midas right afterwards. They somehow win a fight, despite having these 2 Midases.
Just a great Chronosphere. I mean, those are the 2 heroes that you want to get with the Chrono. You get the 2, least tanky, most important support heroes. And with the Mask of Madness, he's actually able to do damage to the Enchantress. Good bait, too, by Kingslayer.
Did he get clipped in that Chrono? Or was he actually just stunned from the Dragon Tail?
I think he's just stunned from the Dragon Tail. It stuns forever.
Yeah, it's kind of an elongated fight for the most part, but...
DM again, man. Every single time with the spellcasting, he's doing
curse
so much.
To save GPK. Very nicely done. And the Ice Wall to prevent him from pretty much going anywhere. And he's all alone at this stage, so... Yeah, well-executed fight from VP. And you can see that DM not wanting to give the kill to Invoker, so X marks him back.
Of course not. That's why he got the damage talent, so he can steal kills.
Yeah, makes sense, makes sense.
I mean, it's worth it. He's carrying the game so hard. Every single game, I've seen him have so much impact on this Kunkka.
The pick rate's actually crazy. We see Cuckoo jumping with the Dragon Tail. Carl, split Earth to follow. No curse online for Kingslayer. He does get off the Cold Embrace for now, but DM is in a lot of trouble. There's the curse. Just came off cooldown. You can see the tidal wave come out. Boat to follow connects onto 2. That is a lot of damage. Meteor is here, though, and you can see the slow from that Ice Wall just doing work this fight. X marks onto Carl. Is that another tidal wave? What is the cooldown on this freaking thing? 3 dead in the blink of an eye for VP. Sunstrike. Triple kill for GPK. All right, the double Midas works.
I think that's the best usage of Tidal Wave that I've ever seen, legitimately. It's always a meme.
12-second cooldown. Okay.
He Tidal Waved to get more people caught in the Winter's Curse, which set up for the Torrent boat afterwards. That was ridiculously cool. All right, let me see if this actually happened.
So he just made it up?
Well, I think that's what happened, but you can't go back in the replays, but now we can. Of course, with the Impact move coming out, the Tidal Wave.
Yeah. Look at
the Winter's Curse comes out, and it pushes the curse target. So it pushes them all together. That's amazing.
And it sets up the perfect Ice Wall and Boat. Yeah, that was really dirty.
Okay, that is an interesting combo. You can just push the curse target into other heroes, as well as the other heroes that are in the curse, they come along for the ride.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
My God.
Oh, slow-mo. Oh!
That's not even the impact move, by the way.
Yeah,
that's just an impact extra
It just feels good to watch.
Bonus impact.
All right, double damage onto the Void, and it looks like VP are going to smoke up for now and see if they do have Chronosphere available. Moonlight Shadows popped. Cuckoo and company trying to take out Roche here as we see the Tidal Wave again. Hits only 1. Okay. And it looks like this is actually going to be a freebie for T1. Cataclysm comes online, but not able to find anybody.
Wow, if they can get out of this.
Yeah, we're going to have the Dragon Tail. They might actually want to fight here. If they can take out the curse before it's there. Yeah, the Chronosphere just a little bit too late, but the boat on top of 3 into the arrow, into Meteor as well. You wish from VP side, you at least kept the Cataclysm for this, but they have a lot of damage. Double kill for Nightfall as he's absolutely going ham now. Triple kill as 23 Savage now on the run with that Blade Mail activated. The bash is there. Another kill goes the way of VP. That is the Aegis. Arrow connection successful, and this is likely going to be an... Okay, it's not an ultra kill. I was ready to scream. But it's a 4th kill for VP.
You can scream if you want to.
Ultra kill! Okay.
Well, don't lie. That didn't happen.
Man, I genuinely don't understand how they got back in this game. I thought it would just be like this super slow-paced game with a double Midas, but it has worked out in spades for VP.
I just want to see the tidal wave again. I don't even care about the impact chrono. Like, I mean, it's a 3-man chrono, which is nice, but it's set up by the torrent into the boat.
Yeah, that's...
And then look at the tidal wave onto the high ground, pulling everybody out of position. If we...
Yep, there we go. Very nice. Man.
He's using it like a Mars spear, like a pudge hook.
See, the thing is, you know that a lot of people watching...
Oh, hell yeah, baby boy.
People are going to go in pubs and start building this, and then they're going to be awful with it. Like DM is just playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's that easy. I mean, once again...
If it was that easy, it would have been picked up like 6 months ago when it was put in the game.
It's hard to say that with Dota because it's such a strange game, but I've seen people try to do this in pubs, and good lord, it's just a meme.
Fails.
It's just a meme. It's just like this wave comes through and it looks hilarious and pathetic.
Yeah.
But
6K network lead for VP. T1 feeling like they need to fight here. Whitemon on the sideline. They have the vision though. Yep, he's going to get Yulesed into the arrow. Spike Carapace is there, but here comes the Meteor. It's going to actually stun the original source, but it's not really going to matter. Gets a nice impale, but the Starstorm is enough to finish him off. And now into the 5-man smoke for VP.
Yeah, they want to get more out of this because, once again, just a 5 position. Oh, Dragonite?
Oh, Cuckoo.
He's used Blink
tanky
already.
Indeed. Yeah, we're going to see the time dilation to start things out. Save, looking for the arrow, but doesn't want to throw it out until it's a guaranteed one with the X or something like that. So they'll have to be, I guess, just happy with that 1 kill for now. They're headed towards the top lane. We can see, okay, Kunkka, or DM actually is building an Ags, by the way, which we kind of were expecting, but the fact that he didn't take the talent is kind of crazy to me.
30 damage is a lot, is the thing.
Yeah, but 0.4 seconds on the Torrents when you have 1 million of them come out.
The stun's not so important. It's more like you're
well,
already...
it increases the damage, too.
What does?
The Torrent from the Ags. Or the talent.
Does it?
100% sure, yes.
Wow, I had
no idea. It just doesn't say that.
Okay, so there's 2 torrent damage talents then, technically.
Yeah, for the most part.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which is why, like, typically when you go Ags, you just go for the torrent talents, you just brain dead it, but not the case here. I mean, I'm not going to question what DM is doing, but...
I think the reasoning behind the damage, I mean, we could, you know, there's a question of does he know that, because I feel like that's a very weird thing to be in the talents.
That's true.
Did you know Pangolier, when you get the shield crash talent, the damage of the spell increases by 1?
What?
Yes.
The 15 talent?
Yes.
What do you mean it
The
increases
cooldown
by 1?
talent increases the damage of it by 1. Dota's a very strange game.
How is that relevant? It's 1 damage.
I'm just saying, there are very weird things with regards to talents in this game.
How do you know that?
Because I was very confused by it, but let me get to my goddamn point. The 30 damage talent...
I'm more confused why you'd bring up that there's a 1 damage difference. Who cares?
Listen, Mr. Going on segues here. 30 damage, it's all about farming, okay? He's getting to that Ags faster.
All right. That is a good point, as we're going to see a kill onto Whitemon here. Every time we have any kind of a segue or story, Whitemon apparently dies.
Yeah, I'm very sorry about that.
I mean, I understand that aspect. That's true. But now you're going to miss the fact, like, if you could revert to level 10 talent now.
Yeah, that would be nice if you could go back and take it after you have the Ags.
Yeah, it has his Ags now, so you're going to see the Torrent Storm out there. For those that don't know, it's basically just a ton of random torrents in the AoE that you... Or it's an AoE around you, right? But you do see the actual pool itself from each one.
Yes.
From the enemy side.
And he did also go for the strength talent as well. So he's just really looking to go in, be tanky, be disruptive. He wants like mixed damage as opposed to just magical
technically
damage.
You said 2, but there's actually 3 torrent talents, right? The 80 AoE as well, which does
that's true.
go on top of the
Well, I was thinking, does that increase the damage for no reason?
AoE? No. As we're going to see, Carl, Sunstrike is going to connect. He's stuck inside the ice wall. Nice kiting overall from VP. But no, the reason that it increases the damage on the Torrent is because it does damage per second. So if you're going to be in the air longer...
I get that, but it's strange that it doesn't... Let me see.
I mean, if Valve came out with a patch tomorrow that said fixed, I'm like, okay. It could be a feature, could be a bug. I can see it both ways. but I'm leaning towards feature in this case.
Now I just don't understand the Pango.
That one's just an oversight.
Why
Somebody just put an extra 1 there.
Why is there an extra, what talents are there that they're just giving you extra little buffs?
Yeah, that 1 damage, as usual, very relevant.
Yeah.
See the Spirit Vessel applied to Whitemon. It's going to get a Spike Carapace, so GPK is stunned. Arrow on the other side to make sure that nobody's in the vicinity. And you can see that nobody actually is. So Whitemon is trying to build the Ags, but it is much slower than we're used to seeing here. Tornado. Oh, not the best setup here, as the tidal wave was while he was in midair. But now with the BKB on the DK, maybe things change a bit for T1 in terms of their team fight, but it is an 8K net worth disadvantage right now. And they're going against double Midas. Yeah, don't forget to use it here, young man. There we go. Well done. Oh, Split Earth actually does connect. Nightfall trying to be careful here. Ooh, time dilation. Does actually proc on top of Whitemon. Nice Torrent connects as well into everything. Tidal Wave, Tornado, everything. We're seeing the Chronosphere onto 1 with the Cataclysm to follow. That's 2 dead right off the bat. It's going to cost them their Winter Wyvern, though. Time dilation again. 23 Savage. He's stuck in the vicinity of a lot of VP players, and you can see the meatball come out. It's just too much damage to deal with. Double kill for Nightfall, as now Cuckoo's BKB has already been expended, attempting to get out, but with that cold snap keeping him basically in place. Starstorm, GPK gets credit for that kill. VP, yeah, GGs are actually going to be called here, and I can't blame them. After the laning stage, it looked like T1 were in pretty good position, I'm not going to lie, but VP just out-executed them in the end.
DM is just such an impressive Kunkka player, man.
He literally carried them.
He legitimately 1v5 carried them. And, Nightfall with some clutch chronos, that's pretty good. Those were nice, but they were all set up by DM. Like, they were off the back of him running in and setting it up, or an X, or like a Torrent on 2, because the chrono would come out and the boat's immediately there. It's like DM was like, I don't even need the chrono. I was already going to boat them. What a Kunkka god.
I mean, we talked about how Virtus Pro could get back in the game since Nightfall is, he got off to a bit of a rough start. But
there we go.
Sorry. But the reason that we brought that up is because they have a lot of setup inside that Chronosphere, right? And they actually executed that to perfection, and that got them back in the game. And
it's one of those things where it's like, we talk about that part of the draft, and that's cool and all, but the only reason they get there is because DM on Kunkka. That's it. That's the only way.
Yeah, that's maybe the best offlane Kunkka that I've ever seen. Best performance.
Every time he does that.
I hope it gets picked again. I hope it's not banned, just for the sake of viewership, because that is a very unique thing to see.
I think you have to ban it.
Let's go over to the panel and see what they have to say.
VP gonna be tidal waving, sliding with those DMs, because by golly, that was one hell of a Kunkka performance. We're gonna go to a break, and when we return, we will see what that Torrent Storm was all about.
Working hard and learning, never stopping searching, yeah, it's burning, all this passion hurts me, I took action working, writing down these words.
No, I'm not okay, I just wanna be something, I don't wanna be nothing, living all alone. No, I'm not alright, I'm just barely getting by, but I'll tell you I'm just fine, so you leave me alone. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left, and I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret, cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win, I won't stop till the end, no.
don't get what I want, I get what I need. Every single day I'm heading off to my dream, and I get everything that I damn well please. I don't give a damn if you all listening to me, cause I run it. I'm the only one that really want it, I'm the only one that's really on it. I'm just being honest, I'm just doing everything I promise, cause I want it bad enough that I'ma make it as an artist. And I know I'm not the smartest, and I know I'm not the largest, but I promise you that I'ma be the one that worked the hardest, cause I promise you that I'm just getting started. And I promise you that my skills are getting sharper, so I'ma get charted. Can't be guarded, nah, I'm the one to get retarded. Get the party started, yeah, get the party started, yeah, so let me get up on it, yeah. Bitch, you got me fucked up, I don't know what's up. Pour that shit in my cup, we bout to turn up. Crank this shit up so loud, sounds like we're sold out. In front of a whole crowd, we lose control now. Don't take this shit too personally, everybody got a different version of me. Everybody gotta be learning from me, everybody wanna be working with me. And I feel like there's uncertainty and urgency to find out what you wanna be. But honestly, we change our minds constantly, so stop and breathe and find out who you wanna be. Failure ain't an option, so I'd be cautious. I hope that you're watching, don't try to stop this. Work until I'm nauseous, cause I will not quit. No, because I want this, don't try to stop me. Failure ain't an option, so I'd be cautious. I hope that you're watching, don't try to stop this. Work until I'm nauseous, cause I will not quit. No, because I want this, don't try to stop me now. For me, I don't give a fuck if you got a college degree. Did you learn anything? Really worth anything? 200 grand later and we're not even working. Student loans worth more than what we're earning. Best lesson I learned is to keep on searching. Find your true passion and get to work. And better take action or you end up serving. Yeah, that's a fact. So you better clean up your act. So you better raise up a sack and tell the world they can suck on that. Don't come back, pack your bags. You take a trip and don't relax. You hit the switch and just attack. You find your niche and make some racks. Don't hold back. Everybody wake up, it's time to break up with the life you made up. It's time to trade up, live the life you want now, a life you don't doubt. I could give a fuck how, just figure it out. Wake up, man, this life is a blur. Everyone's got an opinion, so which one you prefer? Cause I'll give you one that's coming from an entrepreneur. Don't give up on your dream, it is what you deserve. Failure ain't an option, so I'd be cautious. I hope that you're watching, don't try to stop this. Work until I'm nauseous, cause I will not quit. No, because I want this, don't try to stop me. Failure ain't an option, so I'd be cautious. I hope that you're watching, don't try to stop this. Work until I'm nauseous, cause I will not quit. No, because I want this, don't try to stop me now. You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're driven. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back?
Sea for a getaway, car top down, then we're driving just to feel young. Moving away to the sea, moving away, can't you see? Sand in your feet, feel the breeze in the summertime. Stars in the sky, one dime for the first time. Moving away to the sea, moving away, can't you see? We'll drink honey by the ocean, it's our favorite potion. Come on baby, let me tell you one time that our days will never end, yeah. No, our days will never end, yeah. No. Come on baby, let me tell you one time that our fire got a love it till you never break apart. And we moving away to the sea, moving away, can't you see? There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. Get off your seat, clap your hands to the beat, grab your champagne glass tonight. We toast to freedom in the Caribbean, yeah, in the Caribbean, yeah. Dan, dan, smoke, 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 fire it up, let our lanterns paint the night sky red, paint the night sky red, yeah, yeah. We'll drink honey by the ocean, it's our favorite potion. Come on baby, let me tell you one time that our days will never end, yeah. No, our days will never end, yeah. No. Come on baby, let me tell you one time that our fire got a love it till you never break apart. And we moving away to the sea, moving away, can't you see? There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight. There won't be one more time, so we gonna do this tonight.
But it's too late now. I remember you and me, and how careless we could
Yeah.
be.
All day and all night, we'd stay up, it felt so right. We were so young, we were so dumb. We would get drunk and then hook up. We were okay, we were alright. Staying awake till the sunrise. We were in love, couldn't stop us. Like a good drug, never run.
We hook up in my car, driving so far. Play your guitar, you'd show me your art. Let down our guards, think with our hearts. Stare at the stars, we were never apart. Drinking too young, way too much fun. Out in the sun, open when it's gone. Took you to prom, dance to our song. Dance all night long till the lights come on.
Now I remember everything.
Because I think this has been the best Kanka performance in terms of using the tidal wave, moving around the map, setting things up with the X mark the spot into Invoker combo, Sunstrike, Cataclysm, you name it.
And now T1. Oh no, VP is actually first pick, sorry, and they're the ones that go for the Viper. I love how some of these teams, they develop a mini meta. Earlier we saw how OG was forcing Axe, I think it was against maybe Nigma or someone, and then now we got VP and T1 fighting over the Viper.
You think they get like Zeus straight away, or is it like nah? We still have to keep things open for Viper. There's still 3 picks, but
there we go. Yeah, that's it. You know, if they want to go
if
Zeus,
they don't pick it, 100% T1 bans it.
Really? You think so?
Yes, no doubt about it.
Second phase or third phase ban?
Second phase.
Okay, wow.
They need to. This is the main thing, right? VP is first pick. They get the last pick out of everyone in that second phase, so that could be that Zeus if they draft for that. Anyways, T1 with this Terrorblade. Again, against Viper, they were the ones banning out the illusion heroes because mainly in laning phase, you are kind of under pressure, but you can very quickly go to the jungle. And in terms of the game, you're able to push out these lanes without being the hero doing it. You're sending your little illusions to do it for you. So that type of map control, Viper doesn't like playing a quick pace game split across 2 objectives, your side and their side.
Surprisingly, Nyx Assassin uncontested so far. It was a hot hero in Game 1 and Game 2.
Yeah, I think VP, if it's not banned, might even pick it up. We've seen the strength of Nyx Viper as a lane, and then also AA Nyx as a support combo. After the laning phase, they unlock each other, running around the map, setting up kills with each other, using that Ice Blast, using the Vendetta, global map pressure with that extra little core to, swing the engagement their way.
They won't be able to pair it with a Sunstrike, however. The GPK Invoker gets a banned out.
Wait. Save he might be the captain on paper, but the real captain was DM on Kanka in the previous game.
He was, leading the ship.
Yeah, they banned Darkseer, which is no surprise. A lot of the times we see that ban when Terrorblade is picked up. You do not want to use your strength against you, pretty much. That illusions are a bit too strong, especially if you don't have anything to deal with it.
And they will ban out DM's Timbersaw. As Zeus still hasn't been banned out yet. I'm just saying.
Let's see. All right, depending on VP's third pick, that'll dictate everything. All right, but right now it is looking like a Zeus-tastic game.
5 seconds remaining.
Let's see. DM has so far had no history of playing Viper. Nightfall will play Viper. He has played it in the past, at least earlier in this tournament. So there is flex.
Yeah, in that game, it was a Viper carry with a Kunkka offlane mid-TA. They were playing into OG with a little bit more active style, the Furion carry. But when you have a Terrorblade, you need to also have the same type of scaling win condition. I don't think you can run a Viper carry in this instance, but this is mainly going to be the offlane to mid. And part of me feels that if Kunkka's not banned, they might even go for like the Kunkka again, put the Viper mid.
None of these teams, they have a stun. Wyvern ulti is a stun, so is Cold Feet, but no reliable stun whatsoever. Yep. There is no Dragon Knight, which salvages a lot of draft. Banned out by Virtus Pro. Yeah, yep. Finally, we don't get to see Dragon Knight. Getting a bit of tired of seeing Dragon Knight every single game.
Bit easy, isn't it? You know, I think anyone in chat could play DK in these games. You know, just blink and a stun.
I think you're just being rude right now.
Oh no, sorry, it's pressing the BKB. That's what chat. You know, that's the issue actually.
T, you've got a lot of drafts open. Tell me, how many times has T1 first phased their 23 Savage hero? Because that seems like a bit of a change of pace from what we've typically been seeing from them. It seems like more like a second phase, third phase type thing.
20% of the games within like the last 20 maybe.
Oh wow.
It's like TB, Spectre mainly.
Okay.
Other than that, that's the only two kind of big cores that they do first phase.
They end up getting the Lion as their support pairing, so plenty of reliable stun now available for T1.
Yeah, VP actually banned out the Nyx themselves. And I like the fact that T1 go for the Lion because, of course, we've seen when you are playing Terrorblade, this Lion running into the jungle, instantly killing off the illusions with the Hex or the Mana Drain. It does disrupt TB's farm, but they pick it up themselves. And what do they go for? Oh, they go for a Tidehunter. Okay.
Still no backline jumpers. Zeus is available, so...
This is what I think this Tide is for, you know?
Yeah, protect the Zeus.
Exactly.
This is what China did in Season 2. It was Shadow Shaman plus Abaddon or Shadow Shaman plus Tide that they really love to pick to have a hero that just protects the Shaman once they go on him.
And the fact that T1 have picked two squishy supports, it does open up, so... Windrunner is a hero that is great at jumping the backline when you get to 2 or 3 items. You know, the Ags, the Maelstrom, the BKB, you're just running in, you're stopping that hero from playing Dodo because they're just reacting to the aggression. But it is like 2-3 items that we're thinking about. Early on, still can be destroyed by potentially a Zeus that we mentioned.
But where are they going to put it? You have Viper, maybe as a position 1.
Maybe.
It's still doable. There was some position 5 Vipers in Southeast Asia being played. So it's still doable if they want to go for it.
But yeah, realistically, because of the Tide, it is most likely just the mid Viper. That is the reason why T1 picked the Windrunner. Because Windrunner into Viper, Viper likes to play on poison attack. Windrunner can, of course, dodge that, and it forces Viper to go for more farm-orientated game because he can't really bully out the mid lane. So that's kind of why T1's forcing VP's hand with the Windrunner pick.
This is surprising. They have not played Wind Ranger at all on any role throughout the entirety of DPC Season 2. So not in this tournament, not Season 2, not the Animajor.
That's a core Wind Ranger.
Yeah, this is the Slacks coefficient. Don't
that's right. Game 3 elimination. Well, it's not elimination, but it's Game 3.
Exactly. And you know, T1 just testing the waters of the Slacks coefficient because if they pick Windrunner and win with it, then they might have the confidence to pick it in the grand finals.
Yeah, and Southeast Asia has known for Yopaj's Wind Ranger. I'm sure it has all trickled down throughout the region.
And then, of course, VP, they pick up the PL, one of Nightfall's best heroes, and into the matchup of Terrorblade. I've seen it go both ways, just for the idea that if Terrorblade can lock onto the real PL, you know, you can kill him quite easily. But if PL is able to then just kite out the fight and make it a bit harder,
not against
TB gets a bit lost.
Tidehunter in this game because they don't have the answer. Is there Doom available? There is. No, there is not. Never mind. I was
T1,
thinking,
of course.
Yeah, it's just too strong of a hero. So they have nothing that can't stop the Doom. Sorry, not stop the Ravage. And it's a good PL game. Like, they have no real AoE. These heroes don't deal well with the PL illusions. Like, you might try to find the real one, but it's a risk you probably don't want to take with the Wyvern.
I think so right now VP needs to last pick their 4 position. Some additional lockdown would be good. Some cheaper stuns because right now they rely on Ravage and Cold Feet. That's all they're really using. And I think T1, they respect the type of aggression VP can bring out. If PO had Diffusal and they had this 4 position Enchantress, Ench can then dispel Windrun, and now T1, they can't really run away because of the dispels, not the stuns itself. But yeah, a nice stun from Save would be pretty handy.
You don't see any potential for this being a support Viper, like how South America may do it?
Just because of the AA, it feels extremely awkward.
Okay.
And right now, if you look at, you know, Save's previous games, I can list you the heroes he's played. Mirana, banned. Ench, banned. Lion, T1's got it. Oh, that's about Dark Willow's the only other one that is available in his last, 15 or so games. So, yeah.
So we're looking for an offlaner that has some kind of AoE damage against the Phantom Lancer.
T1, yeah.
Possibly can lock down Tidehunter. The only hero that comes to my mind is Legion Commander, but that hero is nowhere to be found in this tournament. In the previous major, was super popular in the second season in C and China.
There's that. I oftentimes see Underlord as a final phase ban whenever you pick up a Phantom Lancer, but that hero's also kind of dead.
Are you guys gonna play the game?
Oh, they're moving. Oh, Clockwork.
Clockwork for Save. So GPK going to be on the Viper, DM going to be on the Tidehunter.
He's got a nice little giggle to him, all right? So what happens if it's actually the Tide offlane Clockwork... No, sorry, the Viper and Clock offlane duo and a Tide middle?
That seems pretty bad for Tide against Windranger, wouldn't it?
Just you wait. I read that just because of the smirk from Save, okay?
Okay.
So if that happens...
What are you doing right now? Like, what is Whitemon thinking? Tell me, Prof.
He's thinking I'm hungry because why is he not eating? He's always eating.
So Whitemon right now, he's thinking about how he's going to play the Wyvern, you know? Is he going to break away from the meta? And realistically, it's no. And that's why he isn't showing any emotion. Because the meta has dictated...
hard to read, right?
Exactly, yeah. The meta has dictated what he does. He can't, you know, break away from the meta itself.
Need an offlaner. What's Master Cuckoo going to be playing in this final game? Unless if it's like a Windranger offlane, but I find that unlikely.
Realistically, they do need a frontliner. And
they could maybe put Windranger on the offlane and get something like Ember Spirit, maybe, but then you get dumpstered in the lane against Viper. I'm just seeing this Legion commander. Probably not gonna be it, but...
Sand King was up?
I think that's Sand sound. Yeah, okay.
Hold tight. Let's see if we got it again. Look, the smirk is... Look, there it is.
Mid Tidehunter, you say?
Yeah. All right, GPK, what we doing, brother?
All right, production, show me the heroes, show me the lanes, show me the names.
Oh, well, you know, yeah.
Sometimes you read a little too much into it.
Yeah, a little bit. But anyway, you do have quite a stable-looking draw from VP. The fact that you do have the PL into the Terrorblade. And I think the big factor for T1 is they have the Windrunner. If you find the real PL, you lock in with the ultimate, you'll always be able to kill him. So it's a nice counter. And then, of course, Sand King with the Sandstorm, you localize that fight. So I think T1 has some nice answers to what VP has. But this is, VP with PL can sometimes be rather devastating.
I think no answer for Tidehunter. He's not afraid of any of these abilities. He gets a hood. You can't really burst him. That's going to be a huge issue for T1. And just the PL against the TB matchup is too good for a PL hood into the Fusel Blade. This game, I believe, you're playing into Windranger, into Sand King, so you also need to be able to protect yourself. You have a relatively global presence from Clockwork and Ancient Apparition to set things up. I'm feeling Virtus.pro. I'm also not going to go against my own prediction before the tournament started when I said that Virtus.pro is going to take the whole thing.
But I said that T1's going to take the whole thing. I think Windrunner, the lack of clean lockdown from Virtus.pro will be the shortcoming. Windrunner will lock onto that PL and mitigate the carry potential. So I'm going to stick with the prediction I made as the tournament started and say that T1 will win this game.
I'm going to go with the prediction that Slacks is probably the smartest among all of us, and Game 3 Windranger is always destined for failure. That way, at least we get an interesting tweet out of it no matter what. And we're going to get an interesting game out of my personal favorite ever casting duo, Sunsfan and Jenkins.
As usual, all downhill from here. Sunsfan with Jenkins. We have game number 3 of the upper bracket finals. T1 looked real good. VP has looked real good. The loser will face OG or Alliance in the lower bracket finals.
I disagree with both the analysts. I think we will have a disconnect, a mass disconnect, and neither team will win this. I think we're going to a game 4.
So a draw, in other words, a remake.
Yeah, remake.
But that still counts as game number 3. But it will be technically
it'll be a
game
game 4,
right?
Yeah, the items will be different.
Okay, yeah. So who do you like here? We see I'm glad to see Sand King kind of coming back into the fray a bit. We saw a couple games in the Animator, not a ton of them, but honestly, he looked pretty good. And it was also against a PL in that game that I was casting, actually, which is interesting because is this more for the laning stage thing? Because, you know, back in the day, you would get Aghanim Scepter, the Cosmic Finale would work on illusions. Doesn't work like that anyway, or anymore, I should say. So your thoughts on this hero?
Well, I was going to say, I think that Sand King doesn't lane particularly well against PL plus AA just because there's so much nuke coming out. It's really annoying. Even though he can clear through illusions, Sand King's level 1 through 3 is just terrible. But what they're doing on T1 is they're doing a solo safe lane Sand King versus presumably what they think is going to be the Tidehunter, and then they're going aggro with the Terrorblade, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, 23 Savage just trying to block these creeps at the very beginning of this game. We'll see how looks like the bounties are just going to go each respective way, so just an even trade, which, you know, typically in a game 3 situation, it's not, you know, loser doesn't go home or anything like that, but obviously a very important game. You typically will see players play a little bit safer. Not a whole lot of level 1 action, at least historically speaking.
Safe at level 1, but aggro tri-laning is almost never safe. If you lose, there's nowhere to farm because you can't go to the safe lane. You've got this extremely high-level Tidehunter who is actually running towards top, so they predict the tri-lane on VP, and they match the lanes.
Okay.
Although it's Sand King versus 2 melees, I think if you're Sand King, you're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, he's actually getting the Burrow Strike off pretty early in that bot lane. And the fact that he can just hug this tower will, as we see Kingslayer taking a lot of damage top. But, I mean, talk to me about this. So this was the switch up that you were kind of talking about, but at the same time, being in the cover of your own tier 1, I would assume would allow Sand King to at least get a couple early levels without any fear of death.
Yeah, and being against a Clockwork, too.
Oh, wow. Yep, he's in meta. That means the damage is online. Whitemon trying to chase to get a little bit of vision for his carry player, and with the Earth Spike, it's going to ensure that first blood goes the way of T1.
Well, you don't expect a Terrorblade tri-lane to get first blood, but with the Lion's Impale, you know, it's enough.
Yeah, I call Impale half the time, Earth Spike the other half. It's a struggle city, my friend, as you're literally checking the name.
I see.
Impale is now Nyx's Assassin, which is not in this game now, although both spells are basically the same. And,
same.
You know, for people that were wondering, they actually were both called Impale for majority of Dota. So it's okay, I forgive you.
Okay. As long as you forgive me.
You can point out any mistakes that I make during the game.
Gaben will never forgive me, though,
That's
for
true.
getting that wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, that's unforgivable for him, for sure. Okay, so bot lane again. We see the Sandstorm come out from Cuckoo. What is actually the skill build on this hero right now?
You basically go for just a value point and Caustic if you want to harass, and then generally you want to max out the Sandstorm, just because I think the best timing you can play around right now is to defend your tier 1 towers with the Sandstorm. People are doing that already, and Sand King's just the best hero at doing that in Dota. So people are maxing the Sandstorm, and against all of these melee heroes on the side of VP, it's going to be pretty easy to defend towers with the
Save.
Sandstorm.
Yeah, he's pressuring a bit, gets the cogs off before the wave comes through, so extra damage with that battery assault, but Whitemon will be fine in the end. And the mid matchup we haven't really talked about, Windrunner versus the Viper. Windrunner, kind of this, it's a polarizing hero, I feel like, in the community. It's not just Slacks. I know a lot of people want to meme about it.
It's not that polarizing. It's just him.
It's maybe he's just doing it to such a high degree that it seems like it's polarizing
yes.
to everybody else.
Vocal minority, as they say.
Yeah, that's Reddit in a nutshell right there, I guess. But what are your thoughts on the mid matchup, Viper versus Windrunner?
It's supposed to be Windrunner favored. I remember when at the Major we were talking about this exact matchup, and everybody was like, oh yeah, Windranger, of course. You have the Windrun so you don't get hit by Viper, but then the Viper won the lane. You just chunk out so much damage over time that you
only
Windrun.
off so often you can actually activate
Exactly,
it, right?
exactly. It's too much damage over time.
So very little mana to speak of in this VP bottom lane. As Carl getting pressured out a bit. Still another 30 seconds to go before he can get a water rune, so we'll traverse into his triangle to get the bounty instead. So he'll be happy with that, of course. I mean, the build on Windrangers these days, just the Maelstrom, and past that, it's kind of up in the air. It feels like it's very game dependent, which is kind of... It's cool when you can just base it off of the game instead of having some cookie cutter build overall.
I think this game, you really need a BKB for Windrunner, as well as the TB. Once those items are picked up, they have a way of playing into this Tidehunter. Right now, there's nothing that they can really do to deal with this Tide. As well as Clockwork completely dumpsters Windranger in the game. Not so much TB, but just the fact that he's this disruptive magic damage guy, you still probably want a BKB, especially against the Tide as well.
Yeah, despite that, I feel like the first wave or two wasn't looking too good for VP in their off lane here. As we can see, the Earth Spike from Whitemon Connect to just take save out of the lane for now. But you can see Nightfall is doing more than fine. 24 and 8 in the CS department. And Cuckoo, on the other hand, I mean, because of this, because of the ability for them to actually move the lanes, it's actually going to get pressured here. Might be too much damage. A nice save from Whitemon to start things out here. He's getting blocked by the illusions. Beautifully done. Gets the Burrow Strike off into the trees, though. They have just a little bit of vision for Kingslayer to finish him off. It'll be just dandy for VP as Nightfall. Okay, he's actually going for the... Okay, that was a nice move. Very nicely done from Nightfall and Kingslayer. VP... I mean, we kind of expected Sand King to lose the lane, but at the very least, the Cuckoo did get some good farm in the meantime. I mean, that's kind of a saving grace, I feel like. Because is that one of those heroes that you just don't want to be behind on, or do you feel like they're getting stacked from? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sand King, as long as you're getting levels, you're pretty okay. One thing that has changed with this hero in the last couple of years is that his laning really isn't good. It's one of those heroes that people have an idea that it has good laning, but it doesn't. You need like level 4, level 5 before your laning is really good.
Carl has just out of range from save, so ends up lucking out there. Battery Assault not quite in range, so no kill in the mid lane. And finally the sentries come through to de-ward this Sand King lane so you can actually use that Sandstorm to a high degree.
I don't think so.
They're pressuring Carl quite a bit. You can see the level disadvantage here. GPK was level 6 before Carl. And we already saw the Viper Strike come out, so that's why Carl was so low earlier, as the top rune not available here. Nightfall with that rush. Ooh, actually blocks with the Spirit Lance. I don't know if he intended that, but that was... Is that RNG actually? I don't even know, with the illusion coming out.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, but he's had some already pretty high-level moves in terms of that micro in the game, so I'm looking forward to that.
That's not something you see.
23 Savage is going to get caught out here. Battery Assault inside the cogs, more than enough, but here comes Carl to try to get some reciprocation. It'll only be a support, though, but at least they get something. Cuckoo, inside that Sandstorm, still gets that Burrow Strike off on a Nightfall. And you can see, even though Cuckoo doesn't have as much farm, he is out-leveling PL right now.
Yeah, you know, it's a hero that can farm up jungle stacks. He's been left kind of alone. It's a big commitment to kill a Sand King into a Sandstorm. I do think it's a fairly easy kill. It's not the tankiest hero compared to before. It's not the hardest hero to kill. Okay, 23 Savage TP'd into this.
Viper Strike, 23. He's only level 5, so there's no Sunder, no counterplay whatsoever. Carl ends up TPing after the dead body has already been shown. Now Cuckoo being spotted by the Sentry. Burrow Strike on the other side. He's doing a lot of damage to Nightfall. I have to be careful here, but the Cold Feet does proc. Kingslayer continuing to get the right clicks down, but Nightfall not feeling comfortable with this, so we'll just have to back out. Yeah, the fact that Terrorblade has died twice.
Yeah, it's a problem. This is the issue with the aggro try, is that the thing is, okay, he's a TB, so he can go jungle. A lot of other heroes that couldn't jungle, they would have this problem where they've literally nowhere to go, because you go mid, you die mid, you go to the safe lane, you die to the safe lane, because there's a PL who's really huge here, as well as an AA. You can't play into the Tidehunter, right? So his only play is to go jungle, and I think going mid was...
Oh my god. Epicenter. If he gets the Burrow Epicenter, that is a definite kill. Baiting them in here a bit. Don't think he wants to go for the AA. Not worth. I mean, if you can kill PL, that kind of saves the game to a degree for Terrorblade, who doesn't want to fall too far behind here. But
yeah, if you put the PL behind, then the TV has somewhere to go. But the thing is that hero is perfectly fine at jungling. So I think 23 probably just identified that, like, okay, I should not have gone mid like that.
That save will be caught out here. He gets Whitemon inside his cogs with the Battery Assault applied as well. Cuckoo trying to make some space, gets the Epicenter off, but the Burrow Strike misses. Nightfall with the Doppelganger will be fine. Wonder if that would have been enough damage. Maybe. Kingslayer now getting pressured in the meantime. Looks like the Earth Spike will ensure that at least T1 gets somebody.
Whitemon had a follow-up Hex, so if he does hit that Burrow, he would have... They would have gotten the kill. And the thing is, it's awkward because you're against a PL, so going for this Caustic Finale, it makes a lot of sense. You want to pressure, but just because of the fact that there's so much nuke damage coming out of VP, it seems like Burrow Strike 2 points might have been the play. Yeah,
level 1 Burrow Strike is one of the worst spells.
It's really terrible.
It's basically melee only. As we see, actually GPK and Kingslayer here. And of course, I'm assuming they have sentries. Indeed they do. Cuckoo staying around a little bit too long. So that'll be essentially a freebie for VP.
No catapult or anything like that, so it is just a kill. I mean, obviously you don't want to die if you're Cuckoo, but it's so much worse as a Sand King to die when there's a catapult wave, because your whole job is defending those towers.
Now Whitemon, save. Is he going to be in range? The cogs are there, pushes them up into an area that isn't allowed by Gaben himself. But on the other side, Carl with the focus fire. DM misses the Ravage, and Whitemon is actually surviving through this. The power shot connects. Kingslayer's dead instead. Somehow T1 have turned this around. Maybe they can turn it around onto DM himself. They're going to focus on to the PL for now. Save looks to be the first to fall here in this little mini engagement. So 2 for nothing. Carl, okay, this will be an even bigger kill, though, for VP. He's getting slowed perpetually. The blocks attempt from Cuckoo, not quite enough. And now the Viper Strike he has to worry about. Burrow Strike with the melee range. And after all of that, VP still gets 2 value kills off of a missed Ravage.
Well, Nightfall again with the body blocks on Wind Ranger. I mean, that was just... you don't see a PL having this much impact early on because, to be honest, people just farm. They don't really use the illusions for their max potential, but Nightfall is also using the illusions to tank the tower for the creep wave and taking that out as well. Like, this guy's just playing a completely perfect PL so far.
Yeah, I assume from T1's side, they're like, okay, he just missed Ravage, we can fight now. But maybe a little bit of miscommunication overall. As you can see, Whitemon just barely, oh, the 0.2 seconds on the channel. Oh, man.
How does he get knocked over to the right from there?
Because that's how Dota works.
Oh, all of the illusions.
Because there's nothing.
There's nowhere he can go.
Yeah, you can't go on a cliff or anything. So
Gaben was not happy.
Only Arteezy could fit up on that cliff, I think.
That's true.
Valve has coded the game specifically to make sure that
at this point, it seems like they have.
Now, Maelstrom almost done on the Windrunner. Now they're actually going to get the smoke here. See if they can find anything. 2K advantage for VP so far. As DM with the hood, Arcane Boots, Bracer,
That's
and
a tough kill, though.
Next item is Blink, but he is completely surrounded. We have the Epicenter, not being fully channeled. As you can see, the Hex actually canceling the TP. Yeah, there's a good attempt into the Finger of Death. Don't think is that enough for the charge on the Finger of Death? Yes. How many seconds do you get after that?
Quite a few. It doesn't even say. I mean, hold all.
I mean, it's a tooltip. I would.
3 seconds. You get 3 seconds.
Oh, that's quite a while then, yeah. I thought it might be like a second and a half. Okay.
No. Hard kill to get, but a really important one because Tidehunter is not like a Timbersaw. Well, I mean, to some degree it is, but if you die a couple of times on Tide, you become very killable for the rest of the game. Timbersaw, it's a little bit harder. And then there are other heroes that, like, no matter how many times you kill them, it's not worth it.
Yeah, it did require 3 ults, as you said.
Yeah.
But definitely worth, in all likelihood, as long as they don't fight in the next few seconds.
Yeah, you can fall off on Tide and just become a Ravage, though, if you die a couple of times, which feels really bad. Because the hero, it feels so much better when you can play like this frontline VP tank.
Yeah. All right, VP are grouping up, so yeah, the smoke comes out as expected. PL now with the Diffusal Blade. We'll see how active Nightfall actually wants to get, because like you said, he's been more active than we're used to seeing, and that's a full 3 minutes faster than the average. Wow.
Oh, how did...
That's quite good.
How does Carl know? Did they smoke on a ward, or...
Cuckoo... okay, maybe he does know...
Carl with the game sense.
Yeah, so the smoke... Okay, they might find the kill instead onto Zephyr. We're going to see the Ravage is going to connect on 2. Be a nice, easy cleanup for VP on Zephyr here. As we see the Burrow Strike connect on the Clockwork, we see 23 Savage gets off the Metamorphosis, which means DM has to be a little bit careful here. In the meantime, Carl with the Focus Fire, he's able to get the AA, but he might take the Viper Strike in turn. We have the Sunder available. Not sure. Carl getting extremely low, though. And it's going to be a 2 for 2 to start things out, because now the chase is on to GPK.
Oh, Kuko's a haste.
Yep, haste rune. Burrow Strike in 5 seconds. He has to be careful. He's inside the Sandstorm right now, and the right clicks will be enough. So T1 end up getting a ton of kills in this fight. And 23 Savage is back, Jenkins.
Yeah, that's a really cool call from T1 to take that fight after losing a hero right at the start. Without getting any spell off on Zephyr, they're still like, the Ravage is more important. They have no Ravage. Let's just run at these guys. Like, they're diving our towers. Then they get a haste on Cuckoo, which really helps out, as you can see, just dying right at the start.
Yeah, no Curse available, no Cold Embrace, although, you know, we've talked about Cold Embrace and it's...
Like, look at Carl. He just goes in. He's like, I'm just going to take this AA out. And if he survives here, I mean, that'd be completely devastating for VP.
I mean, Sunder was available, but that's not something you want to do. Especially when you're starting to finally come back on the Terrorblade.
Right before Carl dies, he hits the...
Man, I love these guys. They actually have the best celebrations mid-game, for sure.
His boy Carl, sacrificing himself for the greater good.
I guess so.
Shackling right before he dies, suiciding in.
Carl does have the Maelstrom, but, you know, if you look at the farm right now, not doing terrible, but definitely not up to par in terms of just the mid lane matchup as of yet. As we see VP now going to town on this tier 1 tower.
Without Ravage, too. T1 could fight this, but it looks like they don't want to.
Hook shot connects. AA Blast is coming. I don't even think we've seen this spell this game. Curse is going to be trying to counteract this, and the right clicks from Viper. More than enough for Whitemon to take a tumble. So this will be a tier 1 tower for VP.
Yeah, T1 were just trying to kind of poke there while VP were pushing that to delay it. But they saw Cuckoo on the ward top, so they know that that was not something that T1 was supposed to be able to do.
Zephyr getting chased now. Gets the Arctic burn off, trying to go to the high ground, but this is too much damage. Attempts the TP as well, actually. As you can see, DM not too far away from Blink, but on the other side, Cuckoo does have his, so...
Yeah, that's what they were doing. T1 was trying to delay for Cuckoo to get his Blink, but he walked through a ward, and VP identified like exactly what was happening, and so they just go completely beast mode ham because they know that behind the tower there's going to be no Sand King. So you guys, you know, you're not allowed to be here, so we're gonna punish you for this.
The fact that he's going Eternal Shroud on Sand King. Talk to me about this.
I like this build. I think the Sanjin Kaya Eternal Shroud build on Sand King makes him a monumental pain in the ass to kill in fights. You try to play into the Sandstorm with all of your heroes, and he's just healing for so much because of the hero lifesteal that you get.
That's awesome.
Is he really? I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a pretty hard kill. I mean, this he's going to get the burst
that's an
strike just to be able to
important rune,
steal the double damage, indeed. No. Shackle Shot will not connect, however.
Not
No
even
follow-up.
going on this guy.
Yeah. He just, I mean, even if they get the kill, it's going to provide enough time for VP to counteract at the very least.
He's going to ravage you before he dies too, and then that counteract play is going to be just absolutely devastating. So good call from T1, just kind of poking there. You poke there, and maybe you get some forced TPs or forced rotations, even if it's just through movement.
After that rough start, 23 Savage is now top net worth.
Yeah, he's popping off.
Man, he has made a gigantic comeback in this game. Has the SNY. Dragonlance will be going for Scotty next. We'll see the smoke now from T1 on everybody but the aforementioned 23 Savage. Oh, if they can find a value kill, this will help put them in the driver's seat for this game right now. But DM doing what Tidehunters do at this stage. Just tanking up. Oh, Cuckoo. Epicenter. Into the Burrow Strike with that Blink Dagger reveal. Nightfall gets really low, but there's no follow-up at all from T1. So perhaps a little bit of miscommunication as Save misses the hook shot.
Maybe that was a little bit of just trying to force things out. Like if he can force out the Ravage there, then that's a good initiation. It is a little weird when you see these forced... Oh, he's dead.
Yep, another cog. Very nicely done from Save.
Forced plays where you use ultimates can be a little strange, but I think it's worth giving these players enough credit that it's like probably if they went in with an epicenter there, there's some idea behind it, and maybe it was just called off like halfway as it's happening. It's like no, they're all behind there. Like, you know, we maybe somebody just has the inkling feeling that everybody's behind there and it's not a good play, you know, or that maybe they didn't see the PL's hood, something along those lines.
Either way, not on the same page.
Yeah, hard to say.
Which is actually not something we like. I think that's the biggest strength of T1 that we've seen throughout the major in this tournament, is that they, for the most part, whether it's the disengage or the fight itself, have been on the same
Yeah,
page.
they usually go in together, they get out together. Exactly. So
hook shot available again for Save. One of the biggest quality of life for Clockwork, historically speaking, is that cooldown reduction. My God, used to be so long.
Yeah, I was bad.
Not going to have vision to cancel the Zephyr TP, and it looks like nothing will be found.
Both teams have such good reads of each other in terms of these smoke rotations. Like every single time they're getting pinged out or scouted on a ward, and it's not really resulting in anything. All of these team fights are starting from just these long-range initiations of either Sand King Burrow Strike or the Clockwork Hook.
Yeah, Nightfall, I mean, he's not to, you know, obviously 23 Savage is having himself a great game so far, but on the other side, Nightfall is pretty much dead even.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, he is. He has the Diffusal Hood. We'll be going for the Manta style next as the AA Blast on top of the hookshot cogs. Will net VP with another solo kill here.
Yes,
they have a lot of good solo kill potential in this lineup.
They do. Save got so much XP from that, from just being the only one in range there. With the AA, it's really easy to kill any of these heroes. Even the Wind Ranger can die to you if you're Save with the AA Blast until the Wind Ranger gets the BKB, which presumably is why T1 is not looking to like really commit to these fights right now, because they're close enough to the Wind Ranger BKB, and 23 Savage isn't even going for his own. He just wants to tank up and outrange the magic damage, which is something we've been seeing for quite some time now. This Dragonlance build lets you just be outside of the Ravage, outside of the AA Blast, and he is going for one eventually, because that's not, you know, a full solution, but it is partly a solution.
I mean, he has the next 3 items, maybe even more, queued up in his inventory. I love it when players do this.
I mean, if you're Terrorblade, you can do this, though. You're going to get those items.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. If there's a TV jungling, you're just losing. The only other hero is Luna that will jungle faster than a TB, but then TB in the late game beats Luna anyways. So it's like, yeah, TB feels like one of the best carries right now in general.
Yeah, and we see a fight here. Cuckoo get AA blasted. Burrow Strike's not going to connect on anything. He just gets picked off. So again, another solo pick off for VP. But I mean, I feel like, again, Terrorblade, he's getting through almost every single game. Like, he is in almost every single game, Jenkins, and it's not even first 2 picked. Why is that? Do people just want to, do they just assume he's going to get nerfed so they don't have to worry about it anymore? Or?
I like Gov's idea on this. It's the fact that a lot of these supports that people are picking really enable a lot of random carries, and so there's too many cores that can be played in any position. Like you see an Axe, you don't know if it's offlane, you don't know if it's carry. You see a Lesh, same thing. So it's just not worth banning the carries in the first phase because they're going to get something that's good. So you may as well just ban out like the Enchantresses and the supporting heroes that you don't want to play against AA as well.
Yeah. Which we are seeing. Yeah, that's actually true. The AA has been pretty much perpetually banned after the first couple days of the major. And this is the first time I feel like I've cast them in
Nyx
quite a
as
while.
well. Heroes that block things, heroes that enable things are kind of what you want to ban out because there's too much that's just extremely good in terms of the core roles.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes Dota interesting. Obviously, you want the game to be fully balanced, but having heroes like Viper, which is also one of these picks where if you get it yourself, that means that you can pick up heroes that actually Viper is good against because the other team aren't able to actually pick them at all to begin with because of that block pick, essentially.
When you first said that to me, I thought, wow, this guy smells. I don't know why I'm listening to him. But then I realized, like, you're totally right. It's
when did I tell you this? Months ago.
This was like NADBC season 1 or something. You had this theory, and it's funny. It's like it's progressed to the point where you see it almost every game. You see like the counter getting picked, and then immediately something that it hard counters. That was the whole story through the major with this Nyx assassin.
Wow, that's a lot of credit being given. Thank you.
Yeah, but you really needed to take a shower that day. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I apologize for that. As we're gonna see the Roshan taken out. So PL will have that for himself. And that was the first of the game. So we'll see what kind of damage they can actually do with this Aegis. We've seen we've seen everything out of this Roshan in this patch, I feel like, because so much emphasis on number 2. But this first Rosh, we've seen teams, amplify the farm. They just get all the outer towers. They constrict the map.
Yep.
And then I feel like this last series that we watched, it was the complete opposite. They got a little overconfident. It was wasted.
True.
And then T1 comes back and just absolutely destroys them.
Yeah, the difference between that game and this game, though, is that game T1 had really great area control heroes where it doesn't really matter if there's an Aegis or if there isn't. If the enemy team is going to fight into your area, you're just going to win, no matter how many lives they have. As Zephyr,
he's fine.
Yeah, he loves doing this. He's one of the most annoying side lane pushing support players that I've seen. Like, he's always making so much space.
Yeah, these heroes that are able to traverse terrain can have a huge impact. As long as they're able to push the wave as well, they just very annoying to deal with. I mean, Hoodwink, we've seen. Obviously, that's a bit more polarizing. I mean, Wyvern can do so much more.
Why is Hoodwink polarizing, though? It's just because NA picked it, so it's like, oh, it must be shit.
Well, it hasn't had the best win rate this tournament, at least. But that doesn't really mean it's still a small sample size in the end.
Of course, of course.
As Nightfall going for the Heart. Super tank build, 3.5 minutes left on the Aegis, so we'll see again how many outer towers they're able to secure.
So to cite my fellow analysts once again, Aoi has this idea that the first Aegis often is what you want to use to just extend the farm that you can take on the map, and we can see Nightfall.
Carl, focus fire with the BKB onto the Tidehunter, but the Kraken Shell into the Ravage is there, attempting to run away as BKBs galore are popped. PL in the meantime on the other side of the map here, or the side of the fight I should say, is Whitemon getting pressured, but there's a nice burrow strike into the right clicks from 23 Savage, trying to find the real PL, but remember, this is just the Aegis, even if they get him. Cuckoo, mana being drained, 23 Savage forced to TP out. Burrow Strike doesn't even have enough mana to TP anymore, so just trying to create as much space as possible. But this is going to be the third kill for VP, and still they maintain the Aegis.
We can kind of see there why certain teams, including both T1 and VP, but I think VP is one of the best teams at this. Just, oh, okay, Zephyr?
Zephyr?
He should be fine.
Again?
There's no stuns, so
yeah,
he's just delaying the Aegis push by a little bit. But playing up into high grounds like that, the problem is you don't know who you're going to run into. So the very first people that Carl runs into, it's Tidehunter and the guy with Aegis.
Yeah.
Neither of these heroes are good kills. And this is exactly why you don't run up high grounds. It's not even about that mischance playing into high grounds. It's about not knowing what is waiting up there for you. And if VP has their wits together, they're going to have the heroes you don't want to run into standing there in the location where that's where the enemy team is going to run up. And this is precisely why teams, if they do go up a high ground, they go for some like wraparound play. So T1 kind of taking a bit of a risk there.
Yeah, and he basically had no good choice on the focus fire either. It was Tidehunter who didn't even end up dying because he's so tanky and still gets off the Ravage just because of the Kraken Shell. And then, or PL, you can focus fire, which maybe you would have killed him, but that's the Aegis still. So no good choice for Carl there. He has forced to pop the BKB. Burrow Strike into the Epicenter. AA Blast will clip Carl. The Epicenter really not doing that much. Again, most of the damage done to a hero that still has Aegis. Big hook shot from Save, but not able to really turn this into anything else, as it looks like he's going to die inside his own cogs here. Has buyback, but this is not looking like much of a push now from VP.
A nice save plays from T1, and T1 is also the type of team, the way that they fight is extremely backline protecty. That's not a word, but they always protect each other.
Backline
and so
protecty.
If you're gonna jump into base like that against T1, I think it's pretty safe to assume that probably both of the supports are going to be there. The panel talked about it. These two guys are playing together constantly, and they're involved in every single play on the map for the most part. And there they were, once again, in position, able to save.
So what exactly did they get with this Aegis? They won one pretty big team fight that we saw. They got the tier 2 bot, have obviously a little bit more map control as a result. So the lead has extended, or has it maintained? What was the lead?
It's extended a bit. I mean, the farm that VP are taking are in the triangle of T1, and this is exactly what Owie always says with this Aegis, is that if you're this PL player, you can play up extremely far with this Aegis because you have so much time for your team to come and save you after the Aegis despawns. And he has a heart now, so he's a big juicy boy.
Yeah, he is bursting at the seams, as it were. Save does get the bounty rune. Cuckoo is just going to leave him be, it looks like. And Zephyr is also in the area. And Save has had this Aghanims queued up for the last 10 minutes. He definitely wants this. So that is the overclock mechanic. One of the coolest Ags in the game for sure. Save. Okay, they're going to spot out Cuckoo. He actually uses his Blink and Burrow Strike already. They're going to pop the dust a little bit prematurely. You can see that Zephyr on the sideline gets the curse, but GPK doing a nice job at just sidestepping to make sure that neither of them get stunned for very long.
He can't TP out.
Yeah.
There's a clockwork hook.
BKB. Viper Strike. Goodbye, Cuckoo. That's a BKB extended or expended as well.
Yeah, Cuckoo knew that there's no hope just going for a TP there. If he burrows, it's really obvious exactly where he went, so... Oh my god, Zephyr's such an annoying player.
Yes, he is.
He lives for these moments, though, doesn't he?
He's going Aghanim Scepter. What? Awesome.
Chad.
Very cool. That gives you the constant Arctic burn and allows you to apply it more than once. But it does cost you mana per second.
He's going to go for the next wave.
Yeah. All right, talk to me about this. Is this for split pushing, like so you're always off the map so you never get caught out? Or is he actually going to transition? Because most times I see this as more of a right-clicky type build, which isn't much of a thing because of the changes to Winter's Curse.
I think what you mentioned, the split pushing with it, is an extremely underrated element. I can say that as a... Oh, he is going down.
Finally found here inside the cog. Zephyr, I mean, honestly, he's done work, though, to be fair. This is one death out of... How many did he dodge? Like 3-4 different times?
Yeah.
So that's pretty good odds.
He forced the clockwork TP too, and that's the disable on VP. Aside from the Tidehunter Ravage, that is really the only disable they have, so...
Sure.
Forcing that TP is quite important.
Okay, so 5k net worth lead now for VP. And next rush, we won't know for a little bit when that is up, but we can see that things are definitely going the way of VP right now. But we've seen T1 come back from much larger deficits before.
Yeah, you cannot count this team out. I mean, they seem to enjoy playing from behind. I don't know what sick and twisted players these are, but they love it.
They probably just watch your channel.
Nobody watches my channel.
That's not true. I know that T1 specifically watch your channel. They're big fans. As we see, a Halberd actually picked up on the Tidehunter. So that is going to be pretty big against TB if you can get it off in time. Or even a Windrunner for that matter. As we're seeing some Well, there's a smoke from T1, but they're not super close to anybody right now. You can see Cuckoo kind of pumping that epicenter. Another great quality of life change, the fact that that is not truly channeled anymore.
It's so good. It's legitimately so good. You can fake people out with it now, like the Pango roll. People
that's true.
underestimated how big of a buff that is to Sand.
It only took literally 15 years for that to become a reality.
Yep.
But yeah.
And yet it's still not that good of a hero.
Well, I think once they put that mechanic in, they wanted to make sure that it's not too broken, right? So they had to balance it a bit in that favor. And maybe we'll see some tweaks in the future, as Nightfall is very close to finishing up an MKB, which is going to be pretty strong, especially against the Butterfly from 23 Savage.
Wind Ranger, Butterfly, 16% evasion talent, as well as... Are there any halberds? Cuckoo? No, Cuckoo's going for Shivas. Okay, yeah, so still, he needs the MKB this game because he's going to be the primary hero that's dealing the damage to the Wind and the TB. GPK is going for 1-2, though.
Scotty now picked up by GPK, so he is extremely tanky right now. Actually, third in net worth as a Viper, not too bad. And the fact that he's 3K higher than the counterpart mid, I think, is the more impressive thing than anything.
Yeah, this new build on Viper with the right-clicking, not only do you farm incredibly fast and gain map advantage because you're just this hero that hits towers from really far away, like a Drow Ranger, it scales so well.
Yeah.
It's so strong in the late game. The combined slows of the Scotty and the poison attack, the magic resistance reduction, the break, the damage, it's nuts. It's really hard to fight into Viper.
All right, T1 are fully smoked and looking for a fight. You see Whitemon getting some D-ward action here, faking things out a bit as save in the vicinity. They're going to spot the cogs, I do believe, yeah. And they're going to be spotted out now. And it looks like that's just going to break up the entire smoke entirely.
Oh, VP, they smoke up off of that.
Yep, and we've only seen a couple Ravages this game.
Oh, they see Cuckoo, but
very patient.
They're dodging him. They want to go for the back line.
Haste Rune's actually be taken by Cuckoo, but big Ravage onto 3. Looks like the AA Blast will follow suit. 2 dead instantly in favor of Virtus Pro. DM. Nice Ravage, buddy.
Yeah, that was a cool call. They could have gone on Cuckoo there, but they know that if he's standing in front like that for T1, it's very likely there are people behind him and he's the bait. So they wrap around a little bit farther and DM just jumps in blind and Ravages and ends up getting 2 people. He just
I said 3, but the other one was an illusion, and I don't discriminate. The illusion counts as a person to me, okay? As we're going to see the second Roche.
There's actually a ward, by the way. He saw
taken
that.
out. Yeah, VP's going to get this. This is going to be the Shard, Aegis, and Cheese. And who takes the Shard is the question, but we'll have to find out very shortly as... Yeah, Cuckoo and company from T1. Oh, the hook shot save finds him, and Nightfall should be able to... Oh, they don't have vision yet. There's the dust. T1, Cuckoo. Okay, he popped his BKB for that.
He BKB'd for to take the dust off, and then the AA blast comes in, which gets the kill. So if he didn't get blasted, he legitimately would have survived there. But for what? He would blink out. He'd probably die anyway because he doesn't have a TP.
Yeah.
So he's going down either way there, but it is pretty interesting play to use the BKB just to take the dust off.
Yeah, I mean, that's an 8-second BKB, so...
Good lord.
Yeah, very close indeed.
Oh, good Gaben.
0.2 seems to be the number of this series for sure. And you see the AA Blast coming in just to finish him off.
Chills.
I mean, in theory, if they didn't have another dust,
he could have ran back
AA
in.
Blast. Yeah, he had Blink Dagger up soon, so
get
out.
Yeah, he could have gotten out, which would have been a really sick play.
Shard taken on GPK, by the way, so this is the minus armor poison attack, and can apply to towers as well.
Yeah, you see this come out the moment you want to take high ground. I honestly think the fact that you can hit towers is probably more important than the minus armor. Just magic damage to towers is never balanced. These things have such high armor. That's why your hero does so little damage to them, but the magic damage, no mitigation whatsoever.
All right, Zephyr has his Aghanim Scepter, by the way. Let's see how much difference it makes here. Of course, it's the biggest part about it is that Arctic Burn can be applied more than once, so you just take a buttload of damage. It doesn't really matter how tanky you are. It does percentage-based. You see the Doppelganger out for Nightfall. Still has the Aegis, of course, and the Diffusal MKB Heart Manta. He is fully loaded. And you can see with this GPK Shard, these buildings do not last very long. T1. Looks like they want to fight. They got the burrow strike, but a nice hook shot onto 2 with the cogs inside the double BKB. Ice Blast to follow. Ravage comes out. It's barely going to clip 23 Savage as they focus all their efforts on him. He's going to pop his BKB, though, and get the Sunder off successfully. But they're kiting him quite well. He finally finds save in the end, but it's a 1-for-1. It costs him their mid laner. Nightfall, he is taking a ton of damage, but this is just the Aegis, remember. Zephyr, quite low in terms of the mana capacity. We'll see if VP want to disengage or not. The nice Hex. Again, the right clicks are something to absolutely fear for 23 Savage. Doppelganger low ground with the Finger of Death. All right, Kraken Shell procs. Epicenter finally comes through for Cuckoo, and it does secure them DM. But in the end, VP still get that melee racks, which is basically what they came for. And Aegis is down, though, so that's a silver lining for T1.
Yeah, another silver lining is they picked up VP's gem in that fight, so that means that this map advantage that VP has, that they were trying to translate into taking down all of the wards from T1 and choking them into their base, that's not going to be possible because Cuckoo has the gem, and 23 Savage is doing a lot of damage in these fights. He can definitely out-carry a Phantom Lancer. Just getting that Rax is not enough to secure you this game. GPK was, being an objective gamer, which is, he was being a good boy in that fight. His team was kind of diving like crazy.
Good, clean boy, yeah.
But it results in them losing the gem, which in this late of the game, it is pretty important.
Yeah, we see the Ice Blast beautifully done onto 2. Of course, they are BKB, but they're still affected by that after the BKB wears off. And you can see the Wind Ranger ends up dropping as a result of that.
Look at 23's damage, though. You really have to be careful here if you're VP.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of damage to PL, who has a heart and a ton of armor, and still, just because 23 has itemized almost entirely to do damage, like he is able to just, if they can get a follow-up stun there, I think he dies.
Yeah, and you can tell VP in that fight, their objective was essentially just to kill everybody else, especially once the Thunder came off. I mean, 23 Savage, you can talk about how much damage he does. He's also really difficult to kill if you don't lock him down completely. And I mean, again, we've talked about this before, but VP's lineup does not have a ton of lockdown.
No, they don't.
Hookshot, Ravage, and that's basically, I mean, cold feet if you get the proc, but that's pretty difficult to do.
And with any other carry, you'd be thinking, oh, okay, well, we have the Ice Blast, right? So just get the Ice Blast on him. He's not going to be able to Satanic. He's going to die in the 1v1 to our carry. Not Terrorblade. It's one of, I believe Brian was quizzing me on this. It's one of 3 abilities that goes through the AA Blast.
3 as in like giving you HP?
Yeah.
So it's HP removal, or I guess it's the opposite.
It's Weaver, Terrorblade, and you should be able to guess the last one because it's your best hero, second best hero.
Spirit Breaker?
No.
My second best hero?
Your best carry.
Oh, Lifestealer.
Yes.
Wait, the Infest?
Infest.
Oh.
That heals through.
Okay.
I didn't realize that.
I mean, I figured you wouldn't take damage, but I mean, it doesn't literally remove it. You just don't take damage.
These are BSJ Brian Cannabis facts, so be careful. I don't know if these are correct. These are what he.
You're saying that you infest somebody while you're AA blasted.
No,
will still heal.
You heal them for it just plus 500 to their.
Oh, I thought you were talking about on Lifestealer himself.
Oh, I don't know if
because that doesn't make sense. I feel like
I didn't ask him for more insight into it because I don't.
Are you sure that's what he meant?
I don't care about.
Now I'm really interested in this because yeah, that makes sense because you're giving them HP that. It's like, what's the opposite of HP removal? HP giveth.
Yes, of course.
Giveth by Gabe and the HP. Giveth. I mean, honestly, that one makes a little bit more sense. It's not like a mech that's healing you. It's giving you the health. That's how I interpret it, at least.
Right.
But the healing on Lifesteal, I feel like that would not work based on the limited knowledge that I have over the past 20 years of playing Dota.
Yeah, I would assume that it doesn't. When it comes to these random mechanics that absolutely nobody should remember, I do trust BSJ. He is the primary source for all things
so
mechanics.
Make sure if it's wrong that you target all your hate towards him and not
tweet at Brian Bannis Cannabis Dota. I think that's it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Man, this is a nice little flyby we got going here. We actually see the double damage. We're seeing some very good information.
Important. Yeah, that's good stuff right there.
As we have the unpause now finally. Let's stay in that. Oh,
keep it on that view. That was it. There we go. Look, there's King. Wait, who is that?
Okay, that's maybe not so helpful. All right,
Nightfall. I get confused between Nightfall and Kingslayer because they both changed their names.
Yeah. Ilias and what were the original? Actually, I don't even want to remember. No, don't tell me because I'm going to get it mixed up.
Okay.
It's hard enough.
I don't like saying the old names because I don't know if the players changed it for a specific reason, and I want to respect that, but I'm very stupid is the problem. So
based off a book.
What is? Nightfall?
Both of them.
Is it the same book?
I'm not sure. I mean, I would assume they both changed at the same time. It should be. But don't quote me on this.
That's a bold assumption.
9K net worth lead for VP as they are in the driver's seat, but they don't have Aegis. And I feel like if T1 has a similar fight to the way that they just fought, they would have won that without the Aegis there.
Yeah, I agree.
AA Blast comes in. That's a pretty, I mean, it's not the longest cooldown. That's a pretty big ult down, but you can see GPK again just sieging this tower. They have double siege as well, actually. So lots of damage done. We have the Burrow Strike with the Shackle connecting, but the Force Staff keeping Nightfall safe as this tower just melts. Man, this shard is crazy. He's running out of mana, but does have the cheese ready to go. And this is going to be a melee. They're just giving it up right here as Carl pops the BKB and the Focus Fire. They're applying all their pressure to GPK, and they'll get him successfully. Has his buyback available as Nightfall focusing on the backline supports. Not able to find a kill yet, though. He's going to shackle for now, Carl. You see the DM Ravage coming out into the follow-up hookshot, but where's the damage? There's the curse inside the cogs right now. They're getting Force Staff into the backline again. Still only a 1-for-1. Hookshot to safety. Save. Another cogs to try to create a little bit of space here.
Oh, he got crit twice.
Yeah, but he's fine for now. He's going to get... Actually, that's the overclock. We didn't even mention he has Ags. So finally did end up getting it, but because of that stun, Carl gets... Again, T1 are kind of winning these fights, but they've now lost both melee barracks. I feel like they need to go just a little bit sooner.
Yeah, GBK's being an objective gamer here. This is the guy in your pubs that's like the highest rated guy. Everybody else is diving. He's just like, all right, guys, I got this. But you can see the damage from 23. This is, I mean, it's formidable. And Carl as well. Like, these heroes are doing a ton of damage. And Zephyr in that fight, he's using the Ags to just stand in buildings so he doesn't die to Phantom Lancer. It's really cool. Like, he's using it as a way of surviving through the PL, because he's never going to kill you if you're just flying over cliffs and in buildings.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool, actually.
It's really interesting.
It's a very expensive item, but...
It is, but it's kind of making him immortal.
I mean, they have 3 really tanky cores, right? Tidehunter, Viper, PL. And the fact that you can also, you know, the HP percentage, it just stacks. It's really nice for that aspect as well.
You mean the HP on Scepter?
Huh?
Oh, HP percentage on the
Arctic
Burn. I see.
I'm not that stupid.
Well, I'm just thinking about every time I think about this Winter Wyvern guy, it's, oh, there's a Ravage. Oh, okay, that's God damn it.
It's your turn.
Oh, no.
Thank God.
Oh, no.
Yes.
At least Cinderin's not here.
Thank God for that.
There he is, in the building.
Nice zoom in, yeah. Zephyr.
Why does anybody hire us?
We have the Burrow Strike. A Blast is coming from afar. DM is in the vicinity, but they're blowing up the PL. And down Nightfall goes, no buyback. Big curse destroys AA, and there's the fear from 23's Aghanim Scepter, and just like that, T1 find 3 enormous kills. What else can they do from here, though? Roshan not going to be up anytime soon. They need to get some objectives here.
Nightfall's down for 80 seconds. I don't see why they wouldn't just poke a little bit.
Yeah.
70 seconds on both of these really important cores for VP.
I mean, you talked about the damage on 23 Savage, which is obviously crazy. Now that he has the Aghanim Scepter as well, with the gives them that AoE fear, but in addition, you get the extra few seconds of Metamorphosis. But on top of that, I mean, you got Windrunner. Carl on Windrunner with the Daedalus. He is dealing a crap ton of damage as well to single targets.
And against PL in the late game, you can't doppel. The hell's it? Focus Fire stays on the PL, so it's one of the more annoying things to deal with.
Yeah, this is going to be a tower. I mean, if they knew that there was no buybacks, maybe they could go for more, but they're going to play it safe because you have to assume in their case that there is buyback.
Yeah.
The Focus Fire on the building is actually going to back up for now. That's tier 3 towers down. It's 23 Savage gets that Metamorphosis off. This is likely to be 2 racks, so it might be an even game in terms of just the building aspect. Yep, the Focus Fire gets that melee rack, so that is 2 racks in favor now of T1, basically evening it up for all intents and purposes. Yep, hookshot is there. A blast to follow. Can they actually blow up? 23 Savage pops the BKB, but the right clicks are out of control. Crit after crit. Not the player from EG, of course. We're talking about the Daedalus. 23 Savage gets Force Staffed. Okay, there's the Sunder. Ravage comes off a little bit late, and 23 Savage is out of there. The Spider Legs save him, and now they TP out to safety after the buybacks have cometh. T1. Wow.
Dude, I'm telling you, you cannot underestimate this team in the late game. This is the only other team that rivals T1's late game decision making is LGD, I think. Like, legitimately, these guys are so good at playing to win, even from a deficit. Like, they do things like this split pushing on Zephyr to stay in the game just a little bit, and as long as they're not at a crazy deficit, they almost always outplay people in team fights in the late game. What a scary team, man.
Yeah, even though meta's down right now, we talked about the fact that this this Aghanim Scepter, the Terra Wave, allows you to get that meta temporarily. So they could go for a quick pickoff here, which is possibly what they're trying to do here. Of course, Roche is up with the Aghanim Scepter inside. VP is currently going for it. And now with that Rocket Flare, T1 should know. And it looks like they might just give it up, Jenkins. It's going to be too late. So Aegis, Cheese, Aghanim Scepter. Who are we going to see? It's actually on the PL. We have to wait and talk about that in just a moment. Earthspike is going to connect. You can see the shard on Whitemon saving him for now. Burrow Strike to follow. But look at that damage, just out of control. But the big curse onto PL. Right clicks from GPK on the sideline, but you see the damage from Carl going right through it. Gets Force Staff to safety for now, but inside the pit they go, and the right clicks from 23 Savage are just out of control. GPK inside the pit is dead, but it will cost them the Wind Ranger. Nightfall, still with that Aegis. Looking very healthy right now as GPK's Courier gets killed with an MKB on it. See if that has any implications here. It is a mid for a mid. And everybody else on the fallback.
So close.
Yep, Cuckoo's just fine as well.
He has nothing defensive left, so if he got hit by that flare, he just dies and loses gem. He does a buyback though, so it wouldn't be the absolute worst thing.
All right. Well, this game just got very interesting. 2 racks apiece. Aegis. And I assume Cheese still online for VP. And let's talk about this Aghanim Scepter on PL. This is one I've literally never seen. So Juxtapose, which
it creates
is his
max illusions,
yeah,
right?
And they last longer. And does it do anything else?
I think that's it.
Yeah, it sounds, I don't know.
It's really terrible.
If you had the crit talent, it would be really good in theory, right? At 25, but it feels like a lot of people don't go for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it does seem kind of, I mean, it's a free Roche. It's from Roche, but you have to question. I mean, Tidehunter's Ags is way better.
It's really good. Armor reduction on everybody and that constant spam.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been one of those situations where they just took it real fast, maybe?
I don't think they were expecting to get Roche totally for free there. I think they were probably thinking they were going to fight it, at least at the tail end there, because it's 44 minutes into the game, 2 racks down on both sides. Roche is super important at this point, right? So you don't expect to get it for free, even with spells down. There was no Ravage, so...
Swift Blink now, by the way, on the TB. And we mentioned that GPK's Courier did die, so another minute 40 before he can get his MKB. As we're going to see Burrow Strike with the Eon Disc, allowing him to use it. Attempting to TP out, but the second hook shot to follow because of the Aghanim Scepter. Cuckoo's still fine thanks to this curse from the sideline. The Ravage on just 1 here. Nightfall trying to take out the Winter Wyvern. Somehow the Clockwork is still surviving throughout this onslaught.
Detection?
Looks like Zephyr will finally fall. He does get up the Colon Brace, which will just delay the inevitable. But that was a Ravage for a Winter Wyvern, Jenkins.
Yeah, and VP, they already TP back to stop this split pushing. 23 is making it so that VP, if they want to go high ground right now, all they're going to get is a couple of ranged racks, and you might get Megas by 23. So really good positioning from him on the map, making that Ravage essentially a waste. If they don't get any tower off of that, then I think you don't want to Ravage there for only Zephyr.
So that is a Spell Prism on DM. So you do have CDR. Doesn't have, like, he probably would go for a Refresher next is my guess, but it's not really remotely close.
Yep, there, he queues it up.
Doesn't have the 25 talent yet with the CDR as well. Man. But if T1 doesn't take advantage of this timing, then it really won't matter, right? Because you're still going into Aegis, so it's not like it's a given.
I think if you're T1, you're pretty happy with how the last couple of minutes have gone. There's an Aegis against you. You can just get there's a real possibility that either team just gets the old run down mid and lose throne if somebody dies without buyback. So it's a real tense situation and favoring VP because of the Aegis temporarily. And so if you can delay that on T1, you're super happy with this. And Wind Ranger late game, I think, is a real contender for one of the best heroes in the game. Once he eventually gets this Aghanim Scepter, which shockingly he's not going for. Maybe expecting to pick it up from an eventual Roche.
Yeah, let's just extend. I mean, hey, we're already at 45 minutes. Why not make it to 6?
Yeah.
Man? I'm in for that kind of a game for sure. as we see the Swift Blink here. Highest amount of last. Oh, we're going to see the hook shot. It's going to miss here from save, and the Blink is going to save 23 Savage. That could have been really bad. He was actually all alone. And he is, in fact, going for the Refresher Orb now as well.
He's holding the building damage leveler in the backpack, so that way when they do end up running to that high ground, they can.
This is where Spider Legs just. We talked about this before. Just having boots not have to take up a slot is so invaluable.
Spider Legs are legitimately better than if you don't get a boot item from the tier, whatever the last tier is. Spider Legs are just the best item, neutral item, period, for carries. Especially with Swift
Flicker. Flicker might have the advantage. You get a decent, not quite as much move speed. But
it's good though. Flicker's good as well. Those are two good, really good neutral items. It's gonna be smoke on smoke here. It looks like.
Aegis is gone, and T1 knows it. Cuckoo. You can see the Stormcrafter is actually giving away where he is, although he's in Sandstorm now, but was smoked initially. All right, this will be a ginormous fight. Only a 3K net worth lead for T1, but basically even right now for all intents and purposes.
Oh, T1's walking right onto a ward here. They have to be careful. Okay, Zephyr has the D ward though, so.
Yeah, Zephyr being spotted on the cliff here. And both teams being very careful as there's the fear that's coming out with the Finger of Death. PL is dead. 100 seconds does have buyback. Will expend it immediately. DM now on the run. You see the hook shot. This could be pretty big with the A blast coming as well. But there's the Sunder just in time. But 3 stuck inside the cogs. This is a lot of damage coming through now from VP. And will this buyback end up saving them in the end? They do find the Terrorblade. He does have buyback right now. Zephyr's getting focused. GPK doing so much damage on the sideline here. 3 for 2 with a buyback onto the PL. Another buyback to come from Kingslayer himself. And they might just try to go for Throne.
So what Cuckoo's doing is very important right now because you don't have meta on your Terrorblade for the buyback.
Yeah, you don't have Terror Wave either, so literally no way to meta.
Yeah, so we have 50 seconds where there's not really much of a great way to defend, but the advantage is that there is a tier 2 still alive, and that means that VP can only go Throne, and this bot wave pushing in is a real problem for them. They have to Throne right now if they want to get anything.
This is the only play. It's going to take way too long to go top. And they still have this range racks to get as well if they want to go for Megas eventually, but that tier 2, like you said, still standing there. There's the Epicenter Burrow Strike combination. Focus fire with the BKB on Carl. Not enough to take out the Sand King. He gets 4-step to safety. But VP, looks like they're just going to play it safe, Jenkins. They forced the buyback on the TB, and I guess that's enough.
Yeah, GPK TPing back. Does not have boots of travel, so yeah, VP have to leave.
I mean, they blew up 23 Savage once. They just need to do it one more time. That should be game. Of course, getting that tier 2 top would make things a little bit easier in terms of your options to finishing the game.
Yeah, that thing is the bane of their existence right now. At this point, I legitimately think that the play is to go backdoor it. They do enough damage that they can. That's one of those things where the play is not... It's a very strange play to make, and it's only something you can make at like 45+ minutes into the game. But if this thing was gone, they would have Megas right now.
Now, Eon Disc on Phantom Lancer here. As we see the game has been quite crazy. This is living up to the hype. And again, these teams could find themselves playing each other again in the grand finals, depending on whoever the loser facing the OG versus Alliance match will be. Or the winner, I guess, of those two.
It would also depend on the loser.
Yeah, that's true. I technically was correct what I said.
Yeah. You're always right in some way.
Yeah, in some obscure way, that is true, actually.
No.
Yeah, this is getting pretty hype. And we are 10 minutes away, Jenkins. I would love to talk about something very
I'm trying not to jinx it. I wanted to mention it at like 42 minutes. But I'm like, oh, if I say it, it's not going to happen.
This game, without the buyback on 23 Savage, if VP are able to pick him off, the game just ends.
And Nightfall. He does not have buyback either. So he went for an Eon Disc on carry.
Yeah.
Which...
That's true.
Notoriously, we saw Arteezy do this.
Oh, big Ravage. He has the Refresher. Double Ravage into the kill. Die back on 23 Savage.
It's now turned into a 4 versus 5. I'm not sure if T1 have enough damage on top of all this. We'll just have to wait and see. GPK, they can play this even just a little bit slow if they really want. Nightfall, his Eon Disc does proc. We'll see the cogs locking in several heroes here. Carl inside, broken and brought down. Does have buyback though, but Sand King into the buyback as well as the building. GPK, objective-based gamer here. That is 1 tier 4 tower down. He's just going to focus the racks right now. They are going to lose the clockwork, but that is a buyback. And it looks like fortification finally popped. Maybe they just came off cooldown, but Tower is basically dead at this point. All right, they have a couple of stuns applied with the focus fire to follow, but the disarm onto Wind Ranger gets the cold embrace to save for now. The several forceps are now even farther from the fountain. They can just focus the racks though in all likelihood. VP trying to turn this around into their favor. And VP look like they're going to the grand finals, Jenkins. What a freaking performance. Although,
it's not over
Wind
yet.
Ranger has something to say about this. A blast not going to connect, but Carl doing so much damage to that BKB. This will be a dieback. Another cold embrace saving him. Burrow Strike's going to apply with the hook shot to follow. Only 2 alive for T1 versus the 3 of VP. Finger of Death doing a ton of damage in the meantime, but GPK pops to BKB, still going for throne, finds it.
Wow.
Oh!
Dude, on the other side, the creeps were hitting throne for T1, so there could have been some travels play there if VP had lost another hero. That could have gone either way, legitimately, until the very end.
Wow, what a game. 40
yeah,
seconds left on that TB dieback. And yeah, I mean, you're right. I thought that was completely over, and then Wind Ranger ended up just going ham in the end. But just not quite enough damage. The AoE was definitely lacking in the late game, but
yeah,
both teams, I mean, I have to say, both teams have played exceptionally well in this tournament. And
yeah.
You know, who knows what'll happen, but I will not be disappointed if we see these two teams play again in a best of 5.
I love both of these teams. T1 plays team fights incredibly well together on the same page, like you mentioned, and VP are so good at taking the right jumps. That's something that I noticed from all of their plays. Like, they bait things and they jump the right heroes and they use everything at once, and that literally is what won them the game. So it's just right in their wheelhouse to win like that. But what a game. Good Gaben.
Good Gaben indeed. So VP goes to the grand finals. T1 will have to go to the lower bracket to face either OG or Alliance. Panel, break it down.
Nail biter of a finisher, and T1 end up getting dethroned. Some of the best late game decision making, but still, you're going up against the online kings of Virtus Pro. Hope you enjoyed that. We're going to go to a break, and when we return, we will take down the entire series under a microscope.